Chapter 107. When the scholar suddenly heard that the bald First Master actually wanted to take advantage of a demon hero, his face instantly turned yellow. He stammered, "Big First Master, a demon hero. Demon hero, really has such a considerable amount of wealth? Well, you're not a hero, so there are many things you don't understand." The one-eyed man's face glowed. "When I was young, I made a great wish to become a swordsman. Do you really think I want to eradicate the demon clan? Bullshit. Let me tell you, this world is very, very big. Other than the north, south, east, west, and middle regions, there are also endless mysterious and vast territories. There are all kinds of mystic realms, ancient countries, historical remains, and countless natural treasures, opportunities, and karmic luck. There was even a legend that an immortal's abode was left behind in this mountain and river. However, ordinary martial artists were not qualified to enter these areas. Unless it was the evil hero. The life of the evil hero is full of legends. Endless battles with the demon clan, adventures, treasure hunting, and success. I can responsibly say that every evil hero's true cave must have stored an unimaginable amount of wealth. So that's how it is. But, great leader, if you recklessly make a move against a demon hero, if you don't have full confidence, I'm afraid you'll invite a calamity of death." The scholar's face was already filled with horror and fear. He had seen the devil hero fight with his own eyes. That kind of efficient and deadly fighting style, and the rock-steady mind, were fresh in his memory. Men die for wealth, and birds die for food. No matter what, we have to take a gamble this time. The one-eyed man said evilly. "Lead the princess wedding procession to that ghost town." What? That dead city. That dead city at the border of the Blazing Sun Empire. The scholar's face revealed an incomparably terrified expression. "Leader, that ghost town has demon chi, and it seems like there's an almighty demon being sealed there. For so many years, even the demon heroes of the Blazing Sun Empire didn't dare to rashly step into that place." Baldy's deceitful eye was brewing a shocking plan. That city. 10 years ago, it was an extremely prosperous border trading city. It had a dense population and all kinds of businesses were thriving. However, the demon race had stirred up trouble, and in one night, it had become a ghost town. Later on, a powerful hero entered the ghost town alone and sealed the demon race. That's right. In the Blazing Sun Empire, there was once a time when it caused a great uproar, but in recent years, it has long since died down, and no one is interested in it. The scholar continued. "First Master, this subordinate doesn't understand. Since the demon race has already been sealed, why hasn't the Blazing Sun Empire rebuilt that trade city?" The one-eyed bald man waved his hand. "However, these are not important to our plan. The most important thing is that the sealed demon race will most likely break free from the seal soon. Then, as long as we lure Nangongyi into the ghost town. Perhaps there will be a good show to watch." "First Master, you mean to use the demon race that is trying to break free from the seal to fight against Nangongyi first. After that, we will take advantage of the situation and reap the benefits?" The scholar's eyes slightly brightened. "First Master, this is also a good idea. Nangongyi is a demon hero who loves to kill demons. Seeing that the great demon seal is about to be broken, he might not be able to control himself and make a move. Although I don't know the level of that great demon, if we bring its corpse to the demon hero pagoda, we might be able to exchange it for a supreme treasure. Nangongyi is the demon hero of the Beacon Fire Empire. He doesn't know much about the ghost town. Let's see if he dares to make a move. The best case scenario would be when Nangongyi enters the ghost town and the great demon breaks the seal on its own. That would be wonderful." Ha ha ha. The one-eyed bald man burst into laughter. His laughter was bone-chilling. But, First Master, that demon race has been sealed for 10 years and its life force has withered. Even if it could break free from the seal, it would be on the verge of death. I'm afraid it wouldn't be enough to pose a threat to Nangong Yi, right? The scholar rolled his eyes and said. That demon still has the strength to fight. Its demonic chi is extremely terrifying. The one-eyed bald man's facial muscles twitched. Every time I go to the ghost town, I would be attacked by the demonic chi and be scared to death. Although that demon only has one breath of demonic chi left, it is still able to fight against a low-stage true chi realm human. It's hard for me to imagine. At its peak, it must be an extremely terrifying existence. Perhaps, it could turn mountains and rivers into powder with just a single thought. There are a total of 3 paths to enter the Blazing Sun Empire. Listen to my command and let the brothers start working. Burn the Yellow Springs poison smoke on the other 2 paths and leave the path of the ghost town to Nangong Yi. We will follow the tail. Wait for an opportunity to act. The one-eyed bald man made his decision. Don't worry. Once this is done, there will be no lack of benefits for our brothers. The rich dowry, the endless top-grade true chi spirit stones, and the great treasure that Nangong Yi brought with him. Do it. The scholar clenched his teeth. Yes. First Master. Do it. This subordinate will immediately order the brothers to prepare sufficient Yellow Springs poison smoke. Princess Mo Hen's escort team. Xiaofan was wearing a black cloak and riding a flood dragon horse. He was slowly moving to the left of the princess's carriage. These days, I have been trying to break through the 11th true meridian. I can probably feel the throbbing of the 11th true meridian, but I still need some time to accumulate and have an opportunity to break through. He couldn't be too hasty in this matter. Moreover, I have sealed my blade intent and won't be exposed in the slightest. As a result, I don't have enough strength to break through the true meridian. If I can use my blade intent as I please. If I use the power of the void to forcefully break open the true meridian, I'm afraid it will take twice the effort for half the result. Xiaofan silently thought. Moreover, after continuously visualizing the first 50 movements of the indestructible golden body, Xiaofan's body was full of vitality, and the strength of his flesh shell was increasing day by day. The bones in his body glowed with a golden light, and the bone texts emitted a strange light. With the strength of my flesh shell and the addition of bone texts, I'm afraid I can use my body to block ordinary true chi attacks. Xiaofan nodded to himself. Mr. Yun. Hu Chenghe rode to Xiaofan's side and took out a map. We are about to enter the territory of the proud Sun Empire. Xiaofan nodded slightly. He also looked at the map. Mr. Yun, please take a look. There are 3 paths to enter the proud Sun Empire. 2 of them are mountain paths, and the other path leads to a city. After passing through this city, you will reach the border of the proud Sun Empire. After entering the proud Sun Empire, if you do not stop and travel at full speed, you will reach the border of the proud Sun Empire and the Flame Scar Empire in 10 days at most. After passing through the Flame Scar Empire, you will travel for a few days and pass through the territory of a few small countries. Then, you will completely leave the southern region and enter the eastern region. Hu Chenghe explained. Senior Hu, have you been to the eastern region? Xiaofan smiled and asked. Never been. This old man has never left the southern region in his life. Hu Chenghe slightly narrowed his eyes. For a martial artist of this old man's level, the southern region is very big. I will never be able to travel the entire southern region in my entire life. As for the eastern region, that is an extremely prosperous and civilized place. Their civilization is flourishing, and they view our southern region as barbarians. If Princess Mo Hen marries to the eastern region, I'm afraid she will suffer a lot of grievances. As he spoke, Hu Chenghe gave Xiaofan a meaningful glance. His eyes revealed traces of instigating and hinting. he said in a low voice. Mr. Yun, us family servants do not wish for Princess Mo Hen to marry to the eastern region. I wonder what Mr. Yun thinks about this. This old man has other intentions. I'm afraid he wants to escape with the princess. Xiaofan laughed in his heart. Then, he said without batting an eyelid. Senior Hu, let's leave the southern region first. At the front of the escort team, Nangongyi rode on a strange beast majestically. General Nangong, it seems that those bandits do not dare to make a move. They must be afraid of General Nangong's prestige. A deputy general said with a relaxed expression. Another deputy general also smiled and said, how could mere bandits dare to stop General Nangongyi? General is a demon hero, the strongest among martial artists. He can instantly kill ordinary martial artists of the same level with just a thought. Those bandits are not idiots. Why would they be willing to dig their own graves? Ha ha ha. Several deputy generals laughed loudly as if they had been relieved of a heavy burden. They were only at the true Qi realm. They were not as aggressive and battle-hungry as the demon heroes. It would be best if there were no complications along the way. General Nangong, we are about to enter the border of the Blazing Sun Empire. There are 3 paths. A deputy general took out a map. There are 2 mountain paths and a city. However, I have heard that this city was once haunted by the demon race. It is a ghost city and has been desolate for 10 years. Even now, there is still a demon aura. I have heard of the ghost town before. It is said that there was a great demon that was stirring up trouble and wreaking havoc in the human world. However, it was sealed by an evil hero. Nangong Ye's eyes were glowing with a blazing and restless light. At this moment, report. A scout galloped over on a horse. General Nangong, there is a mountain path ahead that is burning with yellow poisonous smoke. It is a poison that can corrode true Qi. It is called Yellow Springs Poisonous Smoke. It is thick and does not disperse. It has almost filled the entire mountain path. We cannot pass through. Report. Another scout galloped over to report. General Nangong, the mountain path to the west is filled with raging poisonous smoke. It is over 100 feet high and is extremely difficult to pass through. We must first clear the poisonous smoke before we can pass through. Report. General, there is a ghost city ahead. There is demon aura everywhere and no signs of life. General, this. Several deputy generals were stunned. Ha 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 ha. Those bandits couldn't hold it in anymore. They want to lure me into the ghost city? Ha 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 ha. The corner of Nangong Ye's mouth revealed a disdainful smile. So stupid, ha ha ha. As a demon hero, why would we be afraid of a ghost city that has been haunted by the demon race? General, why don't we use our true Qi to completely clear the poisonous smoke on the 2 mountain paths? A deputy general carefully suggested. Why waste time and true Qi? We will enter the ghost city directly. We will pass through the ghost city and enter the border of the Blazing Sun Empire. Chapter 108. Princess Mo Hen's escort team, under the leadership of demon hero Nangongyi, began to make a detour and advanced towards a dead city at the border of the Proud Sun Empire. This was a city that was almost abandoned by the Proud Sun Empire. It was filled with demonic energy and evil. However, through this city, one could enter the boundless and beautiful territory of the Proud Sun Empire. It was the only way for Princess Mo Hen to marry in the East Domain. At this moment, Nangong Ye's true Qi surged and divine light wrapped around his body. His expression was a mixture of excitement and gloominess. A few of the Jinqi realm deputy generals perked up, released their Jinqi and followed behind. In the middle of the team. Nangongyi changed his route. Hu Chungha looked at the map and said in confusion. He abandoned the 2 mountain paths and directly entered the border city? No matter. We will reach the proud Sun Empire soon. If there is any sudden situation, Nangong Yi will naturally take care of it. Xiaofan shrugged his shoulders indifferently. Elder Hu, Mr. Yun, I have heard that this border city of the proud Sun Empire is a bit strange. A true Qi realm guard suddenly said. Xiaofan and Hu Chenghe looked at the guard at the same time. It is said that this was once a rich and fertile city, an important trading place. However, 10 years ago, the demon race caused trouble and it became a dead city in one night. It will no longer be rebuilt. The guard said cautiously. There is such a strange thing. Hu Chenghe's expression slightly changed. Everyone, no need to panic. Nangong Yi is a demon hero. Whether it is a dead city or a demon land, what does it have to do with us? Xiaofan smiled. For some reason, Xiaofan was becoming more and more fearless towards the demon race. Subconsciously, there was a desire to kill the demon race. That's right, if he didn't kill the demon race, the demon emperor tattoo on his left arm wouldn't be nourished. The life demon art of the North profound demon emperor crystal. If the movement was illusory, he wouldn't be able to display his peak strength. I hope there won't be any accidents. Hu Chenghe said worriedly. We just need to protect the princess. Xiaofan was even more certain. Noon. The team finally arrived at the dead city. It was indeed a flourishing city. The city walls that rose and fell like a mountain ridge, the wide moat, and the terrain that was like a crouching tiger and coiling dragon all told the world of its former glory and resplendence. But at this time, the water in the moat had already dried up, and a thick layer of moss had grown on the mottled city walls. What was even more frightening was that the entire city was deathly silent, as if it was a ghost town from the Nine Nether. Wisps of demonic chi shot up into the sky from the city. A large part of the clear sky was tainted with filth and filth. Dark clouds rose in all directions, and a demonic wind blew in the city, whistling like the wailing of ghosts and the howling of wolves. A terrifying aura spread out. In the team, there were some maids and craftsmen who did not know martial arts. Their bodies trembled, and their eyes were filled with fear. They did not dare to enter the city. Even the foreheads of the physical body realm martial artists were dripping with cold sweat. This city is filled with twisted demonic chi. Xiaofan closed his eyes. This is indeed demonic chi. Hu Chenghe licked his dry lips. Nangong Yi, what does he mean? He actually chose this path. Senior Hu, left bodyguard, protect the princess well. Don't move even half a step away. The demon egg in Xiaohan's heart began to spin. After breaking the fourth seal, Xiaohan's ability to sense demonic chi and demonic clan creatures had been greatly enhanced. It had increased by a large margin. He could vaguely sense that there might be living demons in the city. It was not as simple as a dead city. With that, Xiaofan urged his horse forward a few steps. At the front of the line. Such a strong demonic aura. The true chi in Nangong Ye's body made a slight sizzling sound as he read the demonic aura. The deputy generals exchanged glances with each other. They all looked as if they were facing a formidable enemy. General, are we really going to enter this ghost city? One of the deputy generals stammered. A bunch of idiots. Nangong Yi said disdainfully. According to my experience, I have killed many demon clan members. Although the demonic aura in this city was thick, it was impossible for a demon general-level demon to be hiding there. Let's enter the city. Nangong Yi waved his hand, and the group surged into the ghost town. Cross the drawbridge. Enter the city. In the city. The sky suddenly turned dark. To be more precise, the demonic aura that had accumulated in the sky above the city all year round had formed a dark cloud that blocked the sunlight. The city was extremely cold, causing people to shiver in their bones. Boom! 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 The true Qi realm experts in the group all ignited their true Qi, causing light to radiate in all directions, illuminating the dark environment and driving away the irritating cold. In the middle of the group, Xiaofan looked left and right. There was no living person in this city, not even a single animal or mouse. Many buildings had collapsed and turned into ruins. Under the decaying bricks and debris, human skeletons could occasionally be seen. Woo woo woo, waves of demonic wind swept across, sounding like the sobbing and whimpering of ghosts. Those delicate and pretty maids and craftsmen had pale faces. Most of them had closed their eyes and lowered their heads as they walked. Their shoulders were trembling non-stop. Damn it, bad luck. Hu Chenghe and the few true Qi realm guards frowned and cursed. They released their true Qi and enveloped Princess Mo Hen's carriage. This was a foolproof plan. In front, a little further ahead, there are signs of the demonic aura, very weak. Normal true Qi realm martial artists would not be able to detect it, but it can't hide from the demonic egg in my heart. Xiaofan was very sure. He was already tensed up. The inextinguishable golden body in his body shone brilliantly, glistening brilliantly. Moreover, the Demon Emperor tattoo on his left arm was also trembling slightly. At the front of the group. Nangongyi frowned deeply and muttered. So strange, there doesn't seem to be any living demonic aura in this city, but why is it filled with demonic aura all year round? They continued forward. Finally, the group arrived at the edge of a huge plaza in the center of the city. They stopped. Suddenly, Nangongye's pupils shrank and his scalp went numb as he stared at a stone pillar in the middle of the plaza. The few true Qi realm generals behind him also widened their eyes and looked over without blinking. They saw that on the huge pillar that required several people to encircle, a human. It was a guy in ragged clothes of medium height. He was nailed to the stone pillar by a bone arrow that looked like white jade. Its head was drooping. Its thick black hair completely covered its face. Its hands were very long and withered. Each of its 10 fingernails was more than a foot long. They were sharp and flashed with a threatening cold light. Clouds of demonic aura rushed out from its body. It poured into the vault of heaven and covered the sun. It was so dense that it didn't disperse. General, that thing that was nailed to the stone pillar, doesn't seem to be, not a human, but a demon's corpse, in the entire city. The evil demonic aura is being emitted from this corpse. This ghost city was born 10 years ago, which means, the demon corpse has been emitting demonic aura for 10 years. Even today, the demonic aura is still so dense. It's so intense that even the wind can't disperse it. Then this demon must have been extremely terrifying when it was alive, too terrifying. One of the generals stuttered. The true Qi in his body was a little unstable. General, that bone arrow. Another general said with a trembling voice. The bone arrow that was shot into the demon's body was white and flawless. It was emitting a bitter and ancient aura. Its entire body was extremely dazzling. There were countless light spots swimming around it. The clouds were steaming and the colors were overflowing. It was brilliant. It seemed to be an arrow made from the bone of some ancient beast. The bone arrow was engraved with some mysterious and profound talisman characters. The word treasure was emitting a divine light and carried an extremely powerful sealing power. Roars and roars of ancient beasts could be heard. Accompanied by chanting, the talisman characters engraved on the bone arrow were emitted. Solemn. Immortal. Indestructible. Great. Supreme Being. These words. None of them could perfectly explain the power of the bone arrow. This bone arrow actually killed and sealed this demon with monstrous demonic aura. How powerful is it? One of the generals said in shock. This bone arrow contains a power that can make the mountains and rivers tremble. It was shot by the most powerful devil hero. I don't know who the owner of the bone arrow is. However, he must be the most powerful expert on the devil hero ranking. Who is he? Nangong Ye's eyes revealed an expression of searching his guts and guts. Suddenly, his voice trembled. Could it be him? In the middle of the group. Such a powerful force. That bone arrow contained the mighty power to suppress the heavens. No wonder the demon heroes of the Blazing Sun Empire didn't dare to pull the arrow out after so many years. Hu Chungha guarded the princess's carriage with all his might. The demon egg is spinning faster and faster. This represents the fluctuation of a demon's life. The supreme demon on the stone pillar is not a demon corpse, but it's alive. That demon seems to come back to life at any time. Xiaofan calmly urged his horse forward and approached the edge of the plaza. Outside the ghost town, hundreds of flood dragon horses stopped outside the city. There were also hundreds of strong mortal body realm martial artists riding ordinary horses behind the flood dragon horses. The one in the lead was the bald, one-eyed man. Streams of true energy rushed out of his head, and a snake head poked out. It flicked its forked tongue in and out, wantonly emitting a bone-chilling light. Behind the one-eyed man, there was a scholar, a short man, a white-clothed man, Deshimao, and a triangular-eyed woman. All of them were like wolves and tigers, waiting for something. Nangong Yi and the others have entered the city. The one-eyed man's voice was hoarse. I wonder if that supreme demon can break the seal. Leader, if that demon awakens and fights with Nangong Yi, then we will attack from behind and snatch the dowry and the princess. I can't wait anymore. The white-clothed man, Deshimao, rubbed his hands and said. At the ghost town plaza. Something's wrong. This demon doesn't seem to be completely dead. Nangong Yi finally found a clue. My true chi detected an extremely weak life fluctuation of the demon. What? It's still alive? Many of the deputy generals were terrified. At this moment. Wang! 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 The bone arrow trembled. It moved. Unbelievable. It actually moved. A deputy general pointed at the right shoulder of the demon corpse. General, it moved. Wu, a demon wind blew. Its hair began to flutter in the wind. Ugh, a long and hoarse voice came from the demon corpse. No one could describe the evil and cruelty of this voice. Then, the demon corpse moved. It raised its withered right hand. It raised it for a while, then softened. It raised it again, then drooped again. Finally, it raised its right hand and grabbed the bone arrow. It actually wanted to pull the bone arrow out. In an instant, the runes engraved on the bone arrow began to burn. Golden light shone brightly, and rays of light and auspicious chi soared into the sky. Clouds were steamed, and a loud divine voice was heard. Ah! The demon corpse let out a painful scream, as if it had suffered a great injury. Endless demonic clouds covered the sky. The demonic chi in the city was swallowed like a whale, and all rivers flowed into the demon corpse. Roar! A deep demon roar was heard. It was trying to pull the arrow out. Demon race, stop struggling on your deathbed. You must be the most powerful existence in the demon race. You might be a top-notch demon general, or even, a demon sovereign. The bone arrow did not kill you completely, so you've been trying to break free from it for the past 10 years. Unfortunately, you've stumbled into me, Nangong Yi. Die. Die completely. Perish. Nangong Yi suddenly made his move. He reached out his right hand, and a true energy palm the size of a few acres hit the demon corpse. The true inferno chi was boiling, the light was like the sea, the true fire was like the tide, and the talisman was released. At this moment. Buzz! A talisman enshrouded in demonic aura appeared in the air and imprinted itself onto Nangong Ye's palm made of chi, causing the palm, which was moving at a speed faster than the speed of sound, to freeze in mid-air, unable to advance any further. The next moment. PFFF. It finally pulled out the bone arrow that had been sealed for 10 years. Roar. A demon roar that was several times more violent than before burst out. The ground in all directions cracked, the houses collapsed, and the void was shaking. I finally broke free, this damned seal. It raised its head. It had a pair of eyes that emitted a monstrous demonic chi. It was a pair of dark green demonic eyes. Demonic runes were flickering in the eyes. I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat you. It roared. Chapter 109. The demon that had been sealed by the bone arrow for 10 years had finally broken free. It pulled out the bone arrow. It called itself an emperor, but it turned out to be a demon emperor. Demon emperors were the true powerhouses of the demon race. Every demon emperor needed countless demon heroes to surround them in order to have a chance of killing them. This demon emperor floated in the air, its black hair billowing in the demonic wind. Its dark green eyes were flashing with extremely evil demon runes. It had the sharp face of a middle-aged man and was so skinny that it looked like a bag of bones. Its high cheekbones gave off a very cold feeling. Its ferocious demonic energy engulfed the entire city. The sky darkened. Sand and pebbles flew everywhere. The sun and moon dimmed. Buzz, the demon emperor's body let out a demonic sound, and a crystal appeared in between its brows. It was a crystal that was as dazzling as an amber gem. It was extremely beautiful, flawless, and contained countless ancient demon runes and characters. It was describing the origin and civilization of the demon race. It was a demon emperor crystal. But it was full of spiderweb-like cracks, and some parts had even turned into powder. It was a demon emperor crystal that had been shattered. Demon Emperor Crystal. Xiaofan's eyes lit up. Instead of retreating, he quietly approached the plaza. After a very short moment of shock, Nangongyi displayed the calmness and accomplishment of a devilish hero. The huge palm of genuine qi turned into flames and merged into his true acupoint. His whole body also floated up, and with a wave of his right hand, he signaled the deputy generals to lead the team back. So it's a demon sovereign who was sealed for 10 years by the most powerful demon hero with a bone arrow. Even the demon sovereign crystal was shattered by the arrow. Nangongye's expression became more and more calm, but the greed and fiery light in his eyes became more and more intense. He spoke with confidence. That day, the North Mystic Demon Emperor was severely injured and was trapped in the Sunset Mountains by the demon heroes of the Beacon Fire Empire. The North Mystic Demon Emperor's body was severely injured, but its Demon Emperor crystal was not shattered. But you, ha 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 ha. How pitiful. Nangongyi laughed in high spirits. The Demon Emperor crystal is the most important part of a Demon Emperor's body. Even your Demon Emperor crystal was shattered and could not be repaired. What other power do you have? Ha ha ha. I, Nangongyi, may be a demon hero, but I'm just a stepping stone. If I don't have heaven-defying luck in my life, I won't be able to survive. It's impossible for me to get the lowest ranking on the Hex ranking list. But I didn't expect that luck would come. Nangongyi closed his eyes. Kill the Demon Emperor. To think that I, Nangongyi, would one day kill a Demon Emperor. However, the only regretful thing is that your Demon Emperor crystal has already been shattered into powder, leaving less than 1/10 of its original value. Forget it. Even so, I, Nangongyi, will never be able to fully enjoy it. Die. Die in my hands. Boom. Nangongye's 35 5-pointed star true meridians emerged. Tens of thousands of streaks of light, the blazing sun was like fire, condensing into a several mu large furnace in midair, able to burn all things. It could refine everything. Xiaofan stared at the Demon Emperor crystal that had appeared between the Demon Emperor's eyebrows, and a hint of disappointment welled up in his heart. After the North Mystic Demon Emperor died, the Demon Emperor crystal that was left behind was intact. And this guy? A piece of Demon Emperor crystal had hundreds and thousands of cracks. A part of it had even been shattered into powder, and I don't know if it's still valuable. However, I will try everything I can to get this Demon Emperor crystal. When it fights with Nangongyi, it'll be best if both of them are injured, and then. He. Human, you talk too much. I am going to eat you. A true Qi realm martial artist can heal my injured body. The Demon Emperor let out a hoarse and cryptic voice. Its demonic aura was rising and its evil aura was radiating in all directions. Heaven-burning great true Qi. Sky-scorching cauldron. Die. Nangongyi suddenly took out his true Qi cauldron and suppressed the Demon Emperor. The cauldron was like a millstone, crushing the air and shrouding the Demon Emperor's head. It emitted a suction force, trying to pull the Demon Emperor into the cauldron and forcefully burn him into ashes. Puff. 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 The Demon Emperor's hair and body exploded with sparks. Its body swayed unsteadily like a candle in the wind, and it could be sucked into the cauldron at any time and slowly refined. It was truly a dragon swimming in shallow waters. A dignified Demon Emperor was about to be refined to death by an unknown swordsman. At that moment, buzz. A demonic talisman appeared from the Demon Emperor crystal in between the Demon Emperor's brows. It was as big as an acre and directly imprinted on the cauldron. In an instant, the cauldron was sealed and froze in midair like a piece of scrap metal. Nangongyi was shocked. All of a sudden. Bang! The Demon Emperor moved its body slightly and appeared in front of Nangongyi, throwing out a punch. This punch was like a falling star, collapsing the mountains and cracking the ground, crushing the rules. Puff! Nangongyi spat out a mouthful of blood, and his entire body was thrown back dozens of feet like a sandbag, smashing into a stone house. No one would have thought that a dying Demon Emperor, whose Demon Emperor crystal was shattered, would be able to unleash such a terrifying combat strength at the brink of death. A centipede dies but does not fall down. However, after sending Nangongyi flying, the demonic aura around its body thinned, and the Demon Emperor crystal in between its brows dimmed. It seemed like there was not much demonic energy left. Roar! The Demon Emperor let out a weak and painful growl. Suddenly, its dark green demonic eyes emitted a hint of surprise and excitement, and its aura locked onto Xiaofan as it growled in a low voice. You, human, what do you have on you? This emperor is very interested in the things you have on you that can help this emperor recover his vitality. Reconstruct my peak demonic body. Come over here for this emperor. The Demon Emperor moved its body and moved towards Xiaofan. Xiaofan did not panic. He was already prepared to fight. However, Xiaofan's eyes slightly moved. He clamped his legs on the Flood Dragon horse. The Flood Dragon horse let out a long neigh and galloped out of the city. You can't escape. You are still too weak. The Demon Emperor did not care about Nangongyi's life or death, nor did it devour the others in the team. Its demonic body tore through the air, creating a wave of air, and chased after Xiaofan. The other true Qi realm martial artists in the team saw that Nangongyi was injured, and they were all scared out of their wits. They stood rooted to the ground, dumbfounded. In the blink of an eye, Xiaofan had already galloped out of the city on his serpent horse. He galloped all the way to the far east of the city. The Demon Emperor chased after him like a maggot. He escaped to a wasteland outside the city. Roar! The Demon Emperor roared, and the serpent horse under Xiaofan's legs went limp. It foamed at the mouth and fell to the ground. At the same time, Xiaofan's body floated in the air. Xiao! The Demon Emperor's right claw clawed at Xiaofan. Puchi! It crushed Xiaofan's body. The Demon Emperor was startled. However, what was crushed was only Xiaofan's afterimage and mirror image. Illusory movement. Human. Why do you have demonic qi? You are emitting demonic qi. This is the North Mystic Demon Emperor's illusory movement. This. The Demon Emperor was completely dumbfounded. At this moment, Xiaofan was already standing 10 zhang away. On you. You really have the Demon Emperor's secrets and treasures. After eating you, I will definitely be able to repair the broken Demon Emperor crystal. The Demon Emperor walked towards Xiaofan step by step. It was already very weak, and the Demon Emperor crystal between its brows was broken and dim. Xiaofan did not say a word, but his body was surrounded by icy light. In an instant, a 5-zhang-long hornless dragon rushed out from Xiaofan's body, breathing in and out the icy cold qi. The air was filled with ice crystals. Level 1 True Qi. With my injured body, I can barely handle it. The Demon Emperor's dark green eyes were filled with endless cruelty and cruelty. However, at this moment, boom! True Qi burst out from Xiaofan's body again. It was a true Qi that was completely different from the Black Ice Dragon True Qi. It was antique and as stable as a mountain. It was the Spirit Tortoise True Qi. In an instant, the Spirit Tortoise True Qi started to burn. The raging true fire wrapped around Xiaofan. The clouds were steaming. The power in Xiaofan's body kept on increasing. There was no end to it. Bang! Xiaofan took a step forward, and the ground cracked and collapsed. Sinking. What? The Demon Emperor was shocked. Burn the Spirit Tortoise True Qi in 10 true meridians. The Demon Emperor was enraged. Increase my power by 10 times. Xiaofan was like an angry Vajra. The air in all directions crawled and trembled. Die. In less than a breath's time, Xiaofan appeared in front of the Demon Emperor in a flash. He threw a punch. Bang! Suddenly, the Demon Emperor's body was covered with cracks. Puff! 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 The demon's body shattered like porcelain, splitting into pieces. The broken Demon Emperor crystal in between his eyebrows burst out of his body. Xiao! Before the Demon Emperor crystal fell to the ground, the Demon Emperor palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm flashed with a bewitching and glass-like demonic light. The shattered Demon Emperor crystal was sucked in. And it was instantly embedded into a notch on the Demon Emperor palm. At the same time, the broken Demon Emperor's body turned into rays of light and merged into the Demon Emperor palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm. Buzz! 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 One after another, the demon veins were awakened. Demonic light flashed on Xiaofan's left arm. However, after burning through the Spirit Turtle's true qi in all 10 of his true acupoints, Xiaofan immediately collapsed. He dropped to his knees and constantly gasped for air, gasping heavily for air. Damn it! If I didn't have a lot of supreme-grade true qi spirit stones in my storage ring, I wouldn't dare to burn all my true qi like this. However, it's all worth it. Killing a severely injured demon sovereign in an instant has greatly tempered my spirit. With the experience of killing a demon sovereign this time, it's only a matter of time before I break through the 11th acupoint. Xiaofan took out the supreme-grade true qi spirit stones from his storage ring and put them into the dried true acupoints. At the same time, he transferred the 10 dried true acupoints. Xiao xiao xiao, the hornless dragon turned into rays of light and rays of light. Thousands of strands merged into Xiaofan's true acupoints. Xiaofan instantly became energetic. His body was surrounded by icy light and cold air. Cultivating 2 types of true qi at the same time allows me to burn one of them without any worries. Xiaofan smiled. At this moment, he realized that the Demon Emperor crystal, which had almost been shattered into powder, was constantly being repaired in the groove of the Demon Emperor palm. The powdery particles had already solidified and were as good as new. At the same time, the bandits who had been waiting outside the city all along. There seems to be a battle. Brothers, let's enter the city and have a look. The bald one-eyed man waved his hand and a group of bandits rode into the city. Xiaofan straightened his black cloak and returned to the city in a leisurely manner. I wonder if Nangongyi is dead or not. Even if he's not dead, he's probably heavily injured. After killing this dying Demon Emperor, I obtained the Demon Emperor Crystal and its life essence, awakened a large number of demon veins, and even comprehended a natal demon technique in this Demon Emperor Crystal. Ha ha ha. I'm not afraid of Nangongyi anymore. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 110. Xiaofan used everything he had to kill a dying Demon Emperor. At the same time, the tattoo on his left arm absorbed the demon's body and was greatly nourished. Demon veins awakened one after another. A Demon Emperor is indeed a Demon Emperor. Even though he is dying, his bloodline is extremely noble. Demon soldiers and demon generals can't compare to him. Xiaofan thought as he returned to the city. Including the 8 demon veins I awakened before, I now have a total of 100 demon veins. This is unbelievable. This is just a dying Demon Emperor that has been sealed for 10 years. If it was a Demon Emperor at its peak, it would have awakened more than 1,000 demon veins after being absorbed by the tattoo on the Demon Emperor's palm. However, a Demon Emperor at its peak is not someone I can kill. At least with my current combat power, I can only run away if I encounter a Demon Emperor at its peak. Xiaofan looked inside himself. On the Demon Emperor's palm, there were 100 demon veins filled with demonic energy. They emitted a pure luster, like 100 mines and spirit rivers filled with spirit chi. They contained the power to shatter mountains. There was a Demon Emperor crystal in each of the 2 grooves. It was as bright as the stars. The demon talisman flashed. The Demon Emperor crystal that had been smashed into powder had already been repaired. Sky Demon God Investiture. This was a natural demon art that Xiaofan had just learned. The North Xian Monster Emperor's illusionary movement was a ghostly movement art that was similar to teleportation. The natal monster investiture art that killed the Monster Emperor just now, the Sky Monster God Investiture, was to use the Monster Talisman to seal the opponent. Not only could it seal the opponent's attack, but it could also seal the opponent's body. If this demon art was used to its peak, it could seal the strongest opponent for thousands of years. Xiaofan suddenly remembered that Nangongyi's heaven-burning Grand True Qi was temporarily sealed by the dying Demon Emperor, which allowed him to take advantage of the opportunity to injure Nangongyi. Of course. Even if the 100 demon veins on Xiaofan's left arm were filled with demonic energy and he channeled all of it into the Demon Emperor crystal, he still could not use the Sky Demon God Investiture to its peak. He was still far from it. He needed to awaken more demon veins. I have already mastered 2 Demon Emperor secret techniques. Each has its own merits. Once the Demon Emperor palm strikes out, it will have the strength of 10,000 cauldrons. It can be said that my combat strength has increased tremendously. Xiaofan was very satisfied with today's harvest. Back in the city. At this time, Xiaofan saw a group of aggressive martial artists. They surrounded the princess escort team. The one leading them was a malevolent and evil bald man with a single eye. His entire body was surging with true energy, and his light was like a sea. There was a huge python floating above his head, ready to devour anyone that it saw. 37 pentagram true acupoints flashed and vanished within the body of the one-eyed bald man. He was an expert at the 4th level of true qi. He had even opened 2 more acupoints than Nangongyi. However, his aura was nowhere near Nangongyi's. He shouldn't be a fiend hero. A normal true qi realm martial artist. Behind the one-eyed bald man, there were more than 10 Jinchi realm experts of varying cultivation levels. There were level 1, level 2, and level 3 true Qi cultivators. These people. Xiaofan's impression was that they were a group of rogue cultivators. A mob. Hu Chenghe and several guards guarded Princess Mo Hen's chariot tenaciously, their expressions extremely tense. The atmosphere was extremely tense. Both sides seemed to be ready to go to war. Boom! A majestic true fire soared into the sky. Nan Gongyi was enveloped within it. His face was as white as paper, and there were bloodstains at the corner of his mouth. He looked extremely miserable and angry. However, the 35 acupoints in his body were boiling and emitting a red glow. It seemed like his battle strength was not affected. However, a thick medicinal fragrance was emitting from his body. Oh, this Nan Gongyi was hit by the Demon Emperor and is obviously injured. However, he seems to have consumed a type of divine medicine that forcefully suppressed his injuries. He will not lose his battle strength and be at the mercy of others. Xiaofan knew in his heart. He stood by the side without making a sound. General Nan Gongyi. The one-eyed man spoke in a hoarse and cryptic voice, "Congratulations General Nan Gongyi, you have defeated the great demon that was sealed here." He, but General Nan Gongyi, you seem to be injured as well. You bunch of bastards, how dare you scheme against me? Driving the wolf to devour the tiger, killing with a borrowed knife. This is a good move. It's just a despicable method. In the face of absolute strength, it can only be crushed. Nan Gongyi's eyes were filled with disdain. Streaks of fiery light surrounded him, forming into the image of the ancestors worshipping the fire god. It was extremely solemn and ferocious, sweeping across the moon and heaven. The group of true Qi realm experts behind the one-eyed man, seeing that Nan Gongyi's battle strength was not affected, couldn't help but look at each other in shock. A few of them even wanted to take the opportunity to slip away and kept throwing glances at the one-eyed man. The one-eyed man's eyes twitched a few times, as if he was making a decision. After a few breaths, he smiled and said, "General Nan Gongyi, I can see that your injuries are not light. You only consumed a treasure medicine that temporarily suppresses your injuries. According to what I know, this kind of medicine that suppresses injuries seems to be able to maintain your battle strength, but the side effects are extremely severe." General Nan Gongyi, you must be unable to display your peak battle strength right now, right? To put it bluntly, you are strong on the outside but weak on the inside. Why don't we make a deal? Give me half of the princess's dowry, and I will leave immediately. I will not waste time. Ha. A bunch of bastards dares to negotiate with me. What a joke. All of you shall die. Nan Gongyi made a grabbing motion with his right hand. Fiery light surged like a great river, instantly condensing into a burning heaven cauldron the size of a few acres. It shrouded the sky and directly charged towards the one-eyed man. Who? It was as if there were volcanoes erupting within the cauldron, and it was as if there were 10,000 horses galloping. Its momentum was vast and mighty, emitting an extremely strong suction force. In an instant, dozens of physical body realm experts behind the one-eyed man were sucked into the cauldron. They screamed in pain and were turned into ashes within a breath's time. Nan Gongyi. Do you think I am afraid of you? The one-eyed man was enraged. The true Qi python above his head was like a crazed devil. It opened its bloody mouth and shot out explosively, directly entangling the burning heaven cauldron. Clang! 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 The true Qi python wanted to squeeze the cauldron until it exploded. Its body grinded against the cauldron, producing the sound of metal being cut. The cauldron's light was dense, roasting the true Qi python until it sizzled and smoke rose. Brothers! Go! The one-eyed man was emboldened. He grabbed with his right hand, and a misty green true chi palm the size of an acre grabbed directly at Nan Gongyi. At the same time, the true chi realm experts behind the one-eyed man all unleashed their ultimate moves. They all attacked Nan Gongyi together. In an instant, sword chi rumbled, saber shadows overlapped, and sunlight bloomed. Ultimate moves were everywhere. Nan Gongyi's true chi realm deputy generals also rushed over to help, each using their ultimate moves. Bang! 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 Light exploded in the sky, treasured flames rolled, and it was hard to tell who would win. A few breaths later, both sides stopped fighting. Nan Gongyi's face was extremely ugly, as if he was dead. The deputy generals were also sweating, having exhausted their true chi. It was the smell of exhaustion and exhaustion. On the other hand, the bald one-eyed man's side was also retreating. He did not gain the upper hand. The one-eyed man spat out blood, his face as pale as paper. He had been seriously injured. As expected of the Fiend hero, he is almost at his limit. Even with the support of treasured medicine, his combat power is still so terrifying. The one-eyed man wanted to retreat, but he did not want to give up. It was very contradictory. At this time, Nan Gongyi shouted at Hu Chenghe and the princess's guards. "Why don't you attack? A bunch of trash." Suddenly, Nan Gongyi's eyes flashed with ferocity as he sneered at the one-eyed man. "Don't you want the princess's dowry? I'll give you a chance. Make your move. Attack and kill the princess's guards, and I will consider giving you some true chi spiritual stones and pills. What do you think?" Nan Gongyi had long wanted to eliminate the few guards of the true energy realm by the princess side. If his strength had not been damaged, it would have been a piece of cake. But now, he had been struck by the demon emperor and was heavily injured. He had to rely on the elixirs to hold on, and now he had to fight with the one-eyed man. His injuries had worsened, and he had no choice but to borrow the one-eyed man's strength to eliminate the few obstructing personal guards by the princess side. Moreover, he could use this opportunity to recover some of his combat power and slaughter the bandits in one go. The one-eyed man spat out another mouthful of blood. He choked and roared, "Nan Gongyi, do you think I don't dare?" Heh. Nan Gongyi folded his arms, not saying a word as he stood by the side, watching the fire burn. "What?" Hu Chenghe and the others were shocked. "Nan Gongyi, you are despicable." Hu Chenghe pointed at him angrily. "First Master, that Nan Gongyi seems to be on bad terms with these guards. He wants to use us to kill them." The scholar came over and whispered. Only that old man is a little tricky. He is at the peak of true chi realm and has opened 30 meridians. I will deal with him personally. You guys deal with the others. Finish them quickly and kill them. Let's see what Nan Gongyi has to say." The one-eyed man was ruthless. In an instant, dozens of true chi realm bandits locked their chi onto Hu Chenghe and the other true chi realm guards. "Everyone, fight!" Hu Chenghe's body glowed as a river of true chi rushed out of his body and flowed above his head. There were only 4 true chi realm guards beside Hu Chenghe. Their cultivation levels were not high, they were only at level 1 and level 2. Moreover, although this group of mountain bandits were not demons, they could be considered to be brave and good at fighting. They were people who licked blood from the tip of their blades. They had killed many people, and there was a baleful aura in their true chi that was overbearing. In terms of numbers and momentum, they firmly suppressed Hu Chenghe and the others. "Protect the princess with our lives." Hu Chenghe's old face was solemn. He did not think that the few people on his side were enough to deal with dozens of bandits. He was determined to protect the princess even if he had to risk his life. This Nan Gongyi is really despicable. However, it seems like he is already an arrow at the end of its flight. Sooner or later, he will die. Xiaofan sighed and said loudly. Senior Hu, let this junior handle them. As he spoke, Xiaofan walked towards the group of bandits. The group of bandits turned to look, only to see a strange person wrapped in a black cloak, walking over with a murderous aura. First Master, this is? The scholar exclaimed. The bald one-eyed man wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth as a fierce look appeared in his single eye. It's just level 1 true chi. De Shimao, make your move and tear this guy apart. The white-clothed man, De Shimao, nodded and dismounted from his horse. He walked towards Xiaohan step by step. Bandits, kill this man, and I'll give you some supreme-grade vital energy spirit stones, Nangongyi suddenly said. Xiaohan and the white-clothed man, De Shimao, stopped at the same time and stood 10 meters apart. Chapter 111. Xiaohan observed for a while and noticed that there were 18 true meridians surging within this white-robed De Shimao's body. He was a level 2 true chi cultivator. Literature expo. Furthermore, these bandits were all slightly injured when they joined forces to attack Nangongyi, causing them to expend a portion of their true chi. Xiaohan looked at the bandits and then at Nangongyi, who was floating in the air with a weak and dispirited aura. All of a sudden, Xiaohan felt as though everything was under his control. It was a very strange feeling, causing Xiaohan to be slightly immersed in it. If I use the demon god's palm and use the sky demon god sealing technique, I'm afraid that no one here is a match for me. Nangongyi is indeed a formidable martial artist and a true demon hero. However, he is severely injured at the moment and has overdrafted his life force after consuming precious medicine. He is like a lamp that has run out of oil. I'm afraid it won't be difficult for me to kill him. The feeling of controlling life and death is very good. Xiaohan squinted his eyes slightly. The 10 true meridians on his body were shimmering with a cold mist. Level 1 true chi cultivator. Die. De Shimao sneered and did not put Xiaohan in his eyes. Suddenly, his body exploded. The 19 true meridians exploded with thousands of rays of light. Bestial roars could be heard and the illusions of tigers, leopards, wolves, snakes, eagles, bears, lions, and other wild beasts appeared. His right hand turned into a true chi beast palm the size of a water tank. It looked like a tiger or a bear with a domineering aura that could devour mountains and rivers. 100 beasts true chi. De Shimao slammed his palm towards Xiaohan. A series of sonic booms rang out. However, bang! Unexpectedly, Xiaohan did not block or evade. Instead, he used his meaty shell to forcefully take on this mountain-splitting beast's palm. Pfft! A piece of black cloth on Xiaohan's chest was smashed into powder. It was annihilated into nothingness. He took 5 steps back. Each step created a deep pit under his feet. However, under Xiaohan's skin, golden light shone brilliantly, glistening and dazzling. There were profound and ancient bone texts that appeared. Mr. Yun. When Hu Chenghe and the other guards saw that Xiaohan was instantly hit, they all collapsed and cried out involuntarily. The one-eyed man and the other bandits looked at each other and laughed. However, then, everyone was shocked to find that after Xiaohan used his flesh shell to take on the palm, surprisingly, he did not die from being torn into pieces. Xiaohan stood as straight as a javelin. Not only did it not shatter Xiaohan, but it also allowed the golden light to absorb a portion of the palm force and nourish Xiaohan's body. The golden skeleton glowed even more resplendently. Pure flesh shell strength, increased to 1000 ding. Xiaohan commanded. However, I can barely withstand an attack from a level 2 true chi cultivator. But I can't take the attack of someone at the 3rd level of true chi, and my body will explode. Xiaohan took a few steps forward, visualizing the first 50 movements of the indestructible golden body in his mind. His entire body shone with golden light. His skin flickered with multicolored splendor and bone texts. Why aren't you dead? De Shimao's expression changed drastically. The mountain bandits who were laughing were also dumbfounded at the same time, their faces filled with shock. Hu Chenghe and the others, on the other hand, were surprised and apprehensive. It was another accident. Body refining technique. It's a technique to temper the body. Nan Gongye's expression changed. Such a technique is a treasure. It can only be found by chance. I didn't expect this rogue cultivator to be so secretive. What is his background? You. What kind of treasured clothes are you wearing? It's impossible that I can't kill you. Die. De Shimao roared. His palm shone brightly, and his aura surged as he slapped the air. Bang! Xiaofan was hit by another palm. Buzz! His golden bones rang, and bone texts bloomed. His physical strength had increased to 1500 ding. Not good. A portion of my true qi was absorbed by him, and when it entered his body, it was absorbed without a trace. De Shimao seemed to have woken up from a dream. Third Lady Gongsun, you and De Shimao attacked together. Kill this bastard. The one-eyed bald man roared. Yes. First leader. The triangular-eyed lady rushed out, and a cloud of multicolored light spurted out from her head, and a willow leaf saber floated in the air. She had opened 24 true meridians in her body, and was a level 3 true qi cultivator. Let's see if you can block my saber qi with just your flesh. Third Lady Gongsun shouted fiercely, and the willow leaf saber in the multicolored cloud trembled slightly. A lingering and gentle crimson saber light struck down at lightning speed towards Xiaofan. This saber seemed gentle, but it contained the power to split mountains. It was no small matter. Boom! Xiaofan did not retreat, but advanced instead. He used the imperial chariot technique, and his physical body crushed through the air. Waves of air billowed out, and he had already arrived in front of Third Lady Gongsun. In an instant, a 5-zhang long hornless dragon rushed out of his body, and icy cold qi gushed out. The air became damp, cold, and viscous. The chill was bone-chilling, and ice crystals flew in all directions. In the sky, large snowflakes fluttered down, and the entire area within a radius of several zhang changed color, becoming a vast expanse of white. Every snowflake contained the profound ice true qi, and when a snowflake touched Third Lady Gongsun's body, it began to freeze. In less than a breath's time, the surface of Third Lady Gongsun's body was covered with a thin layer of ice. The next moment, puff! A saber jumped out of Xiaofan's true meridian. Xiaofan slashed horizontally, and Third Lady Gongsun, who was about to struggle out of the layer of ice, was cut into two at the waist. Before blood could spurt out, the hornless dragon spat out a cold breath, and blew Third Lady Gongsun's body into ice shards, and her bones were crushed. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, the hornless dragon quickly turned into endless ice, and entered Xiaofan's true meridian. Xiaofan stood with his saber, and the elegance of a peerless saber master was revealed. With a saber in hand, he was lawless. The wild saber qi was like an evil dragon, and it soared into the sky, stirring up the winds and scudding the clouds, and shaking the mountains and rivers. Xiaofan could not care less about hiding now. There was no need to hide too much. He could just draw his saber and start killing, and nothing was forbidden. However, if he did not draw his saber, it would be impossible to kill all these bandits. Saber Master? Nan Gongye's body trembled, and his eyes showed that he was deep in thought. But he did not speak, and only looked deeply at Xiaofan. Third Lady. Seeing their comrade die, the bandits were enraged. That scholarly bandit moved, and directly rushed towards Xiaofan. The sword qi above his head was dense, and a stream of sword qi, which was like a long river, slashed towards Xiaofan's head with a force that could topple the mountains and overturn the seas. This scholar's cultivation was similar to Third Lady Gongsun, and he also had 24 true meridian opened, and his true qi was at the third stage. Xiaofan used the imperial chariot movement technique, and rumbled, and the air was dispersed. It crushed the air until it rolled away, like the sound of a river beating against the shore. Bang! 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 Streams of river-like sword chi chased after Xiaofan relentlessly, blasting huge craters in the ground. But strangely, Xiaofan only dodged. He held his saber in his hand, and did not counterattack. Mr. Yun, seems like he can't hold on anymore. Elder Hu, let's go. The princess's retainer, the left bodyguard, said anxiously. Wait. Mr. Yun seems to be doing this on purpose. I don't know what he's doing, but there must be a deeper meaning. Wait a little longer. Hu Chenghe frowned. Go to hell. Torrential River True Chi Sword. The scholar and third Lady Gongsun were lovers. Now that third Lady Gongsun had died in Xiaohan's hands, the scholar was naturally enraged, and he used his strongest attack. To kill Xiaohan. Boom! 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 9 streams of torrential river sword chi fell from the sky, and the waves were turbulent. Countless strange phenomena appeared, and flowers bloomed and fell. The sword chi surged. Xiao, at this moment, the saber light in Xiaohan's right hand flashed a few times. The saber light was activated by the profound dragon ice true chi, and it was like an ice blade, slashing out fiercely. The air froze, and the sound of glass shattering could be heard. This guy's sword technique is not orthodox. In terms of sword technique quality, he is not even as good as Lu Feng from Mingjian Mountain Villa. But his true chi is more abundant. Xiaohan slashed a few times, and he found a gap to dodge the torrential river sword chi. But the ice blade light was instantly swallowed by the tsunami-like sword chi, leaving nothing behind, and Xiaohan was in an extremely sorry state. If not for the domineering movement technique, Xiaohan would have been hit by the sword. What is he doing? Nan Gongyi stared at Xiaohan, as if he wanted to see through Xiaohan. Shockingly. He is trying to break through the 11th true meridian. I can feel the saber intent. He is trying to use the saber intent to cut through the void to forcefully break through the 11th true meridian, and reach level 2 true chi. This guy. Nan Gongyi was a demon warrior after all, and he immediately saw through Xiaohan's intention. Indeed, Xiaohan was currently activating his saber intent to cut through the 11th true meridian. Previously, he had killed a demon emperor with his own hands, causing Xiaohan's already flawless spirit to be tempered and refined once again. Removing the impurities, he would definitely be able to break through the 11th true meridian. He Lu, you guys attack together. The one-eyed man saw that the scholar's attacks were futile, and he immediately ordered the 2 true chi realm bandits beside him to join the battle and kill Xiaohan. Yes. Of the two, one was level 2 true chi, while the other was level 3 true chi. They rushed forward, their true chi shrouded in mist, and they were about to unleash their ultimate attack on Xiaohan. Let's attack together. De Shimao also roared and took a step forward. Now, Xiaohan was surrounded by 4 true chi realm bandits. As if facing a great enemy. Xiaohan's spirit was as tense as a bowstring. At this moment. Open. The invisible saber intent took advantage of the situation. Pooh. Xiaohan's body emitted the sound of a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon. A pentagram true meridian appeared. The 11th true meridian was broken through. True Chi Realm 2nd level. Then. Pooh. 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 The 12th, 13th, and 14th true meridian exploded one after another. In an instant, Xiaohan had broken through several true meridian, causing the speed of his thought process, as well as his level of life, to undergo a transformation. Die. The saber in Xiaohan's right hand flashed. But there was no saber flash. The next moment, originally, the 4 bandits were charging at Xiaofan in a row, intending to kill him in one blow. However, something strange happened. Their bodies stopped at the same time, and their legs became heavy and stiff. It was as if they had been imprisoned and bound. With the 4 bandits as the center, the space within a radius of 2 zhang suddenly froze. Traces of ripples appeared. Bang! That piece of space exploded without any warning, directly shattering into pieces. Space turbulence and fragments swirled and twisted like a storm. Pooh! 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 The 4 bandits were covered with cuts and bruises, and fresh blood spurted out. The second style of the 7-fragment saber technique. Void-shattering style. It directly shattered a piece of space. This was the first time that Xiaofan had used this ultimate blade technique. Xiaofan, who had reached level 2 true qi, could instantly shatter the space within a radius of 2 zhang with this move. What? This saber technique is actually this terrifying. The saber techniques I've seen before were only as powerful as this. Nangongyi was getting more and more frightened, and his heart was filled with suspicion. However, although this saber technique was powerful, it consumed a lot of true qi. The mystic ice true qi stored in the 10 true meridian in Xiaohan's body had already been used up by now, and only 6 true meridians still had true qi left. The 4 bandits struggled out of the shattered space, their bodies covered in blood. They roared like wild beasts, and gathered all their remaining strength to attack Xiaofan. Pooh! The invisible saber intent flashed, like a whale out of the sea, or an eagle soaring through the sky. Wherever the saber intent passed, the ground cracked and the air was shattered, unable to reform in a short period of time. With a flash of the saber intent, blood splattered 7 feet away. The 4 bandits did not even have the chance to make a sound before their bodies were cut in half by the invisible saber intent. After my cultivation level increased, my thinking speed increased, and the strength of my soul was nourished and strengthened. My saber intent actually became a bit more condensed. A casual slash of saber intent is almost 15 zhang. Xiaofan held the saber in his hand, and walked step by step towards the remaining bandits. Colliding with the princess's carriage and trying to steal her dowry, all of you must die. Chapter 112. Xiaofan had killed 5 true qi realm bandits with his first level true qi cultivation. In the midst of the battle, he had opened several acupoints and stepped into the second level of the true qi realm. It was truly shocking. Of course, to be honest, killing bandits above his level was not something to be proud of. Bandits were not like the direct disciples of sections. Their cultivation methods were crude and inferior, and they lacked true qi spiritual stones. They were a typical motley crew that bullied the weak and feared the strong. This guy. The one-eyed man and the other true qi stage bandits were completely stupefied. Not only did they not pounce towards Xiaofan because of the death of their comrade, their fighting spirit had instead become dispirited, and their fighting spirit was gradually being defeated. Let's go. This guy has hidden his strength, he's not easy to deal with. Let's retreat first. The one-eyed man ordered and was about to lead his subordinates to scatter. At this moment, boom! Nangongyi grabbed with his right hand. A giant palm made of true qi appeared out of nowhere and came crashing down like a raging fire. Ah! 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 Large groups of bandits were instantly set ablaze. With a crackling sound, their bodies exploded and died without a complete corpse. Xiao 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 xiao, Xiaohan's right hand turned into a blur. Hundreds of saber auras stacked in front of him and slashed out. Pooh! The powerful true qi saber aura was dozens of feet long. Like a rainbow, it was like an army of thousands of horses, cutting through everything, killing people and ghosts. Mixed with a trace of saber intent, it seemed to possess an immortal aura as it rushed towards the bandits. Qi! Chi! 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 Enveloped by this powerful saber aura, many physical body realm bandits were slashed into a bloody mist, leaving no trace behind. Even true Chi realm bandits were dismembered. Blazing Sky Furnace. Nan Gongyi used his strongest move, the furnace that could incinerate everything. It devoured all the surviving bandits, including the one-eyed man, and turned them into ashes. The invading bandits were all annihilated. The members of the escort team were relieved, but they quickly turned to look at Xiaofan and Nan Gongyi quietly. "I'm afraid you're not just an ordinary wandering cultivator." Nan Gongyi looked at Xiaofan with interest. "Swordsman. Your Excellency is actually a peerless swordsman who has comprehended saber intent. In the entire Beacon Fire Empire, the bladesmen who comprehended saber intent were all bladesmen. Not many. I heard that the youth from the Cloud sect, Xiaofan, has comprehended saber intent. Sir, it's time to take off your mask." Streaks of dawn fire. It coiled around Nan Gongyi's body like a fire dragon. He floated in mid-air, his eyes spitting out beams of fire. He looked like a god. Xiaofan did not make a sound, but the tattoo on his left arm began to throb slightly. "General Nan Gongyi, you can try lifting my mask yourself. I will definitely not disappoint you." Nan Gongyi was heavily injured, so Xiaofan was not afraid. However, it seemed necessary to spare Nan Gongyi's life for now. After all, Xiaofan was still in the southern domain and was in a dangerous situation. There were many variables. Should he continue to stay in the welcoming team and bluff his way through? Until he left the southern region, or directly exposed his identity and activated the demon god's palm. Start a massacre. Xiaofan pondered for a while. Furthermore, Xiaofan had promised to protect Princess Hen, so he couldn't just leave like that. For a bladesman who comprehended saber intent, killing people above his level is as easy as eating and drinking water. Furthermore, I'm injured, so you don't seem to be afraid. Nan Gongyi said slowly. But, you just killed those bandits above your level. Did you use up a large amount of true energy? Moreover, you used saber intent consecutively, which exhausted your spirit. I'm afraid you don't even have 50% of your original combat strength. Your Excellency should know that I am a demon hero and cannot be measured by common sense. To be honest, I still have some precious medicines that can reduce my lifespan in exchange for combat strength. Your Excellency, are you still as calm as water? Ha ha ha. Xiaofan laughed. General Nan Gong, are you threatening me? I'll say it again, you can try. Xiaofan's voice was very calm. His black cloak covered his face, making it impossible to see his expression, making him seem even more unfathomable. Nan Gongyi hesitated for a moment. The corner of his eyes twitched slightly before he smiled. All right, everyone take a step back. Let's continue our journey first. We'll decide after we pass through the Blazing Sun Empire. Xiaofan and Nan Gongyi smiled at each other with ulterior motives. Then, they returned to their respective groups. Nan Gongyi sat on the strange beast at the front of the group and waved his hand. Let's go. Xiaofan returned to the side of Princess Hen's chariot and quietly mounted a flood dragon horse. The group prepared to set off again and pass through this city. At this moment, General, what should we do with this bone arrow? A true Qi realm deputy general's figure flashed and jumped to the center of the plaza. At this moment, the bone arrow that had sealed the demon emperor for 10 years was stabbed into the ground in the center of the plaza. The bone arrow was white and flawless, emitting a bitter and desolate aura. The runes engraved on the bone arrow possessed a supreme aura that made the mountains and rivers tremble. As deep as the sea. General, this bone arrow is really mystical. It's not an ordinary item. The deputy general bent down to pull the arrow out. Don't pull it out. Nan Gongyi screamed. Unexpectedly, his warning was a step too late. The deputy general seemed to want to pull out the bone arrow and claim credit in front of Nan Gongyi. Without thinking, he grabbed with his right hand and pulled. In an instant. Buzz! The bone arrow emitted a godly sound and Buddhist chants, and a huge rune appeared, directly enveloping the deputy general. Bang! The deputy general knelt on both knees, a complicated rune appearing between his eyebrows. His eyeballs were motionless, like a stone statue, and he still held the bone arrow in his hand. He could no longer feel a trace of life from his body. Damn it! It's been sealed. Nan Gongyi's facial muscles twitched. Too stupid. Even the demon heroes of the Blazing Sun Empire do not dare to easily pull out this bone arrow. Go! Go around the plaza. The escort group nervously went around the plaza and then quickly left this ominous city. Xiaofan looked back and thought, this bone arrow contains a terrifying seal. It seems to have the same effect as the Sky Demon's investiture. However, with my current demon power, I am still unable to release a seal as strong as this bone arrow. But I believe that this day will come. Mr. Yun. At this moment, Hu Chenghe whispered in Xiaofan's ear. Mr. Yun, I'm afraid we're in danger on this journey. You saw for yourself just now, Nan Gongyi actually went crazy and instigated the bandits to kill us. This is utter treason. I don't know if we can make it to the East region alive. Xiaofan took out a few supreme-grade true energy spirit stones from his storage ring and stuffed them into the dried-up and newly opened true meridians. He licked his lips and said, if Nan Gongyi was not injured, he would have attacked me just now. Plus, he would definitely want to get rid of the princess's henchman. He is stalling for time, waiting for his injuries to recover. Hu Chenghe was a little frightened. Then. Mr. Yun, what should we do? Now that all my true meridians are empty, I need to refine a few supreme-grade true energy spirit stones. To replenish my energy. Plus, the Blazing Sun Empire has many powerful monsters, including the Emperor of Japan and the Dragon Bone Saint Blade. So, let's endure for now. Once we pass through the Blazing Sun Empire and enter the wasteland, we will immediately attack and kill Nan Gongyi. A gentleman does not stand in front of a collapsing wall. To strike first, to gain the upper hand. Xiaofan's eyes flashed with an uncontrollable killing intent. Once we leave the Blazing Sun Empire, attack immediately. Mr. Yun, are we going to attack Nan Gongyi? Hu Chenghe was shocked. There's no other way. Are we going to wait until Nan Gongyi recovers before killing us? Xiaofan was determined to kill Nan Gongyi this time. But in the Blazing Sun Empire, he did not dare to attack, nor did he dare to use his demonic techniques as he wished. That's true. Hu Chenghe finally nodded his head heavily. Rather than being killed by Nan Gongyi, we might as well kill him. Originally, we didn't want the princess to marry to the Eastern Domain. This time, we might as well throw caution to the wind and kill Nan Gongyi, then escape with the princess. It's better than marrying to the Eastern Domain, a foreign country. Mr. Yun, everything depends on you. Hurry up and absorb the top-grade True Qi Spirit Stones to recover your True Qi. Yun, you must protect Mo Hen. At this time, Mo Hen also lifted the curtain, revealing her beautiful and delicate face. She was so beautiful that it made people feel suffocated, making people feel pity for her. General Nan Gongyi doesn't seem to have good intentions. Xiaofan nodded slightly. 17, don't worry. I will definitely strike first and eliminate Nan Gongyi. With that, Xiaofan did not waste any more time. He silently circulated his profound art, and strands of pure true qi were refined into the spirit turtle true qi and the great hornless dragon profound ice true qi, which were stored in Xiaofan's dried-up true acupoints. At the front of the group, Nangongye's face was hazy, his eyes filled with killing intent. General Nangong, that guy, is he really the Xiaofan wanted by the entire country? A deputy general asked carefully. This seat does not dare to confirm. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. However, that's not important. Nangongyi said coldly. When this seat recovers, and my combat strength is at its peak, I will lift his mask and take a good look. That physique tempering technique of his, this seat wants to obtain it. If he really is Xiaofan, that's even better. He stole the North Mystic Demonic King crystal, it's a great treasure. If this seat obtains it, I can exchange it for countless resources and secret techniques at the Wuxia pagoda. Pausing for a while, Nangongyi lowered his voice and said. In the Blazing Sun Empire, do not be ostentatious. Let's keep a low profile and ignore that guy for now. In the Blazing Sun Empire, including the Emperor of Japan, many of the strongest heroes are coveting Xiaofan. If that guy is really Xiaofan, all the more we cannot let the Emperor of Japan and the rest take him away. The Emperor of Japan, Dragon Bone Saint Blade and the rest are all vicious and cunning. If they interfere, how would I stand to gain? Yes, General Nangong, leave the Blazing Sun Empire's territory and enter an uninhabited wasteland. I believe at that time, General's injuries will be healed. The deputy general nodded heavily. Nangongyi thought for a while and said softly. Listen, pass down the secret order. Leave the Blazing Sun Empire and enter an uninhabited wasteland. Begin the purge. Kill all the servants around the princess. Leave none alive. This. General, kill them all? The deputy general was shocked. The journey to the eastern region is too far and too arduous. Chapter 113. According to the speed of the escort team, it would take around 10 days to cross the Proud Sun Empire. They would arrive at the border between the Proud Sun Empire and the Blaze Scar Empire. After entering the Proud Sun Empire, Nangongyi kept a low profile. He tried his best to lead the team along empty mountain paths, avoiding the prosperous cities of the Proud Sun Empire. He would not interact with the various sects of the Proud Sun Empire either. It seemed that Nangongyi did not dare to be too ostentatious after his injuries. However, news of the Beacon Fire Empire marrying off a princess had reached the Proud Sun Empire long ago. As a result, the Proud Sun Empire did not seem too curious about this team. Occasionally, a few true Qi realm cultivators would come to ask around, but Nangongyi easily dealt with them. 7 days passed just like that. Xiaofan currently sat cross-legged in a large carriage. Xiaofan's body shone with golden light, bone inscriptions faintly visible. He was cultivating the invincible golden body. Xiaofan's pure physical strength had increased to 1,500 cauldrons. He was completely different from a normal person. He was comparable to a savage beast in the truest sense of the word. A normal person's physical body could not withstand such violent strength. It would definitely explode. However, Xiaofan's physical body would only grow stronger the more he cultivated. There was no limit. Using the invincible golden body now is very interesting. I can absorb other people's true qi and convert it into my own physical strength. Xiaofan smiled. As expected of one of the martial arts used to seal the evil egg. I've refined the essence and taste. Now, my body is full and sturdy, and my weight far exceeds 500 kilograms. My bones are especially heavy now that they've turned into golden bones. As for his true qi cultivation, Xiaofan had opened 14 true acupoints. With the replenishment of supreme-grade true qi stones, the spirit turtle true qi and hornless dragon profound ice true qi had filled his true acupoints and virtual acupoints. He could change them as he pleased. The difference between the first and second stage true qi was not just the number of true acupoints opened. It was related to the speed of thought and the transformation of the soul. Simply put, after breaking through the barrier of the 11th true acupoint and reaching the second stage, Xiaofan's thought process was roughly twice as fast as when he was at the first stage. This increased Xiaofan's speed and reaction time to dodge the enemy's attacks. At the same time, his attack speed also increased. His soul was firm and full. His blade intent was solid. In addition, his lifespan had increased. Fong Ling had once told Xiaofan that those in the martial Dao could have at least 300 years of lifespan after tempering their bodies to the peak of perfection. After that, he would enter the Zhenqi realm. Every time he opened a true acupoint, his lifespan would increase by roughly 30 years. In other words, Xiaofan could easily live up to 700 years old. Martial artists could overcome the natural aging process. The saber intent is getting sharper. It had almost reached the peak of the initial success stage. However, saber intent was very mysterious. How could one reach the threshold of middle stage saber intent? It's too ethereal. When Xiaofan was pondering over the saber intent, he was the most confused because the saber intent was formless. However, he knew that once his sword Dao reached the middle stage, his combat power would increase by at least a level, perhaps even more. Also, the third form of the 7-fragment saber art, the intent-shattering form. How does it shatter my saber intent? Let him undergo nirvana rebirth? It is extremely dangerous to shatter your own saber intent. If you are not careful, your saber intent will be completely destroyed. Furthermore, your comprehension of the saber Dao will not improve for the rest of your life. The martial Dao was too vast and profound. Xiaofan's martial Dao path was not a simple path. However, Xiaofan excelled in diligence and perseverance. He continued to comprehend and study the martial Dao. He would not give up easily. At the front of the group, Nangong Ye's pale and dispirited face was slowly regaining some color, as though he was in high spirits. His aura was like a rainbow. His eyes shone with the aura of being in control of everything. General Nangong, have you recovered from your injuries? A deputy general asked carefully. Fortunately, I do not lack healing medicines. I have recovered by 70%. Nangong Yi laughed coldly. 70% of my combat power is enough to kill that guy. Even though he had comprehended the saber intent, there are thousands of Daos. Saber intent and sword intent are not the only things that are ethereal and unreal. I have opened 35 true acupoints at 4th stage true Qi. That guy has opened 14 true acupoints at 2nd stage true Qi. The gap between us is too big. It is not enough to describe it as the difference between heaven and earth. Yes, General. You are 2 levels ahead. Killing that guy will be as easy as blowing off dust. Don't worry, General. I have already given the order. Once we enter the border between the Blazing Sun Empire and the Blazing Scar Empire, we will start to eliminate all of Princess Mo Hen's henchmen. However, how do you plan to deal with Princess Mo Hen? Bring her back to the Beacon Fire Empire? Oh. Nangong Yi said secretively. Princess Mo Hen, there is no need to return to the Beacon Fire Empire. I have my own way of dealing with her. His Majesty will definitely be satisfied with my method. Ha ha ha. Nangong Yi could no longer hold back and let out a wild laugh. He was in high spirits. Thinking that he did not need to travel to the eastern region, Nangong Yi felt relaxed. 3 days later, the escort team finally crossed the Blazing Sun Empire and entered a deserted wilderness. This was a region surrounded by barren mountains, majestic. These mountains lacked vitality, giving off a grayish-brown impression. There were many rocks scattered in the mountains. Occasionally, there would be a few meters-long one flying across the sky. Set up camp and rest here until noon. Nangong Yi ordered. He looked at a few of his trusted subordinates and signaled with his eyes. Then, Nangong Yi strode towards the center of the team, where Princess Mo Hen's carriage was. According to the plan, Nan Gongyi would take Xiaofan away and break all of his bones in the mountains. He would interrogate him to find out what he wanted, such as a body refinement technique. Then, he would kill Xiaofan. At the same time, the subordinates would lead the soldiers to slaughter all the henchmen of the princess, leaving only Princess Mo Hen alive for the time being. Mr. Yun, Nan Gongyi is coming this way. Hu Chenghe's eyes flashed with hidden killing intent, but there was more nervousness and apprehension. He had followed the rules all his life and had never thought of making a move against a swordsman. Moreover, judging from his appearance, Nan Gongyi's aura was getting stronger and stronger. It was possible that he had already recovered from his injuries and recovered his peak combat strength. "Can I have a word with you?" Nan Gongyi looked at Xiaofan with a smile that did not reach his eyes. "I have some confidential matters to ask you alone." "Oh?" Xiaofan's eyes swept around and found that the subordinates and soldiers under Nan Gongyi were holding weapons in their hands. Their eyes were bloodshot and filled with killing intent. A large number of soldiers vaguely formed a pincer around the henchmen of the princess. Some soldiers used greedy and evil eyes to stare at the voluptuous figures of some pretty maids, gulping down saliva. The atmosphere was really strange. Xiaofan could even smell the killing intent. What? This Nan Gongyi seems to want to slaughter the henchmen of Princess Mo Hen. Those soldiers and subordinates are ready for battle, their eyes filled with the excitement of killing. Xiaofan was moved. He did not expect that Nan Gongyi would be so cruel. Before reaching the eastern region, he wanted to start a massacre and kill the innocent henchmen of the princess. "General Nan Gong, could it be that you want to start a massacre?" Xiaofan said in a clear voice. His voice spread far and wide, echoing in the mountains. "You are crazy, you want to kill all the henchmen of the princess." What does this mean? General Nan Gong wants to kill us? Many of the guards, craftsmen, maids, painters, and tailors were all shocked out of their wits, as they looked left and right in fear, as though they had lost their souls. Ha 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 ha. Nan Gongyi didn't deny or hide anything. He let out a long and evil laugh. "You people betrayed the empire and defected to the enemy. You despised the imperial family of the Beacon Fire Empire. You deserve to die 10,000 times and your 9 generations will be exterminated. Today, under the secret order of His Majesty, I will execute all of you. Your corpses will be exposed in the wilderness." Hearing Nan Gongyi's words, at least half of the henchmen of the princess fainted in fear. The other half trembled like sifting chaff, their faces ashen. Hu Chenghe and a few True Qi realm guards roared and cursed while blocking the carriage of Princess Mo Hen, swearing to defend with their lives. Mo Hen lifted the curtain and asked sternly. "General Nan Gong, you gave a false order. What is your intention?" However, she was born weak and kind. At this time, she was already weeping like a pear blossom. She was strong on the outside but weak on the inside. She almost fainted. "Your Highness." Ha ha ha. Nan Gongyi laughed arrogantly, full of disdain and the supreme pleasure of controlling the whole situation. "Nan Gongyi, let's fight." Suddenly, Xiaofan's body rose up and floated in the air. His whole body was covered with icy light. Ice crystals rustled and fluttered down. A single blade was already in his hand. The blade's aura swept across several li, swallowing mountains and rivers, destroying everything. Ha ha ha. Forget it, I will defeat you here, destroy your cultivation, and interrogate all your secrets. Nan Gongyi also floated in the air. The 35 pentagram true meridians in his body shone brightly. The burning heaven great true qi shone through the ages, incinerating everything. "I don't care if you're a hidden rogue cultivator of the Jianghu or Xiaohan, I will cripple you and make you experience all kinds of pain and torture. At the same time, I will show you the difference between you and me. Once upon a time, there was a mayfly that dreamed of. Nan Gongyi continued to talk, trying to destroy Xiaofan's confidence and will to fight. Bullshit! Xiaofan roared, interrupting Nan Gongyi. Demon hero. Today, I will kill a demon hero with my own hands. There is a saying, below the group of immortals is the demon hero, below the demon hero are all living beings. But today, I will slaughter the demon hero. No matter who it is, since they want to kill me, they must pay the price. I don't believe in fate. My fate is decided by man, not by the heavens. If the heavens want to destroy me, I will destroy the heavens. Suddenly, an unparalleled domineering and violent fighting spirit burst out from Xiaofan's body. Silence reigned all around. Even the soldiers who were ready to start a massacre were scared. They were completely intimidated by Xiaofan's aura. Nan Gongyi, today, I will kill you like a pig or a dog. Xiaofan laughed coldly. How dare you? This was completely presumptuous. Die. Go to hell. Nan Gongyi made a grabbing motion with his right hand. Chapter 114. Xiaofan knew that he and Nan Gongyi would not rest until one of them was dead. Therefore, he used his most powerful attack right from the start. He even used the secret technique of the demon race. He did not hesitate to expose his identity. Because Xiaofan knew that if he did not go all out, he would not be able to defeat Nan Gongyi, and he would be killed instead. After all, the difference in cultivation level between the two could not be ignored. At this moment, Xiaofan had arrived behind Nan Gongyi with an illusory flash. He immediately ignited all the spirit turtle's true qi in his 14 true acupoints. The strength of his body rose steadily, explosively increasing by 14 times. Mountain reclamation. Boom! Dragon Face was enraged. Xiaofan was determined. Without hesitation, he threw a punch at Nan Gongyi, as if he was putting his life on the line. The punch was so powerful that it created a hurricane. It even sucked all the air within a few meters, forming a vacuum field. Nan Gongyi was at the 4th stage of true qi, so his reaction speed was extremely fast. He could only feel that Xiaofan's punch was unavoidable. The meteorite-like fist grew larger and larger in his eyes. This punch is a bit powerful, but it's not enough. Amidst his shock, Nan Gongyi displayed the combat skills of a demon warrior who had been through hundreds of battles. A wall of fire was erected in front of Nan Gongyi in an instant. The great burning heaven true qi went all out to defend. Within the wall of fire, shadows of fiery trees, silver flowers, wind, forest, and fire appeared. Xiaofan's dragon face was furious. He burned all the true qi in his body to increase his strength. The true qi in his 14 acupoints was burned, increasing his strength by 14 times. However, this was only a form of pure strength. It did not mean that Xiaofan could defeat an enemy 14 times stronger than him. One must know that the golden armored demon warrior and Nan Gongyi both cultivated extremely high-quality true qi cultivation methods, which meant that their attacks and defenses were enhanced. In the blink of an eye, bang! Earth-shattering. Falling meteorite. Collision of stars. Xiaofan's punch. His anger and strength reached its peak. It landed directly on the wall of fire formed by the great burning heaven true qi. Crack, 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 numerous cracks appeared on the surface of the wall. Pft! 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 Balls of flames were blown away by this punch. It's not bad for you to be able to slightly break through my defense with your current realm. But I can see that you burned all of your true qi in exchange for such great power. With a single punch, all the true energy in your body would be exhausted. You would be completely overdrawn. If you can continue to unleash this kind of power, then even I will be a little afraid of you. Alright, time to be executed. I'll capture you, cripple your cultivation, break all your bones, and slowly interrogate you. Nangongyi kept on laughing sinisterly. He could tell that Xiaofan was at the end of his tether. However, the ruler wants the subject dead. Xiaofan took advantage of the moment when his true qi was about to run out and his strength was about to dry up to strike out with the Son of Heaven's divine fist. If the monarch wanted his subjects dead, this was a form of domineering will. He brought out the might of a monarch to the extreme, striking out with the Tao of a monarch and subject, causing his opponent to hallucinate mentally. His opponent was like a subject meeting the emperor. He was sentenced to death and had no choice but to die. What? Suddenly, under the general trend of the emperor wanting the minister to die, Nangongyi felt the world spinning around him and his vision blurred. He realized that he was kneeling in the throne room and had committed countless crimes that were too numerous to be listed. He had even implicated his entire family and clan. Nangongyi's tears fell uncontrollably as he spoke with a trembling voice. Your subject deserves to die. Your subject deserves to die, bang. In the next moment, Nangongyi felt a sharp pain in his chest and his entire body was sent flying. He suddenly came to his senses and discovered that he had been punched by Xiaofan at close range. Even the general armor on his body had been struck with thousands of spider-web-like cracks. Pfft! Nangongyi's entire body was embedded in the middle of a giant stone mountain. The mountain began to tremble and rocks flew everywhere. Hew, hew, hew! At this moment, Xiaofan suddenly collapsed. He felt dizzy and exhausted and almost fell from the sky. The spectators below were all dumbstruck and silent. No one expected that Xiaofan would send Nangongyi flying in one move. If this was spread out, it would be the biggest joke in the world. No one would believe it. However, it was happening in reality. Pfft! Suddenly, the stone mountain began to burn. Waves of heat filled the sky. The mountain rocks were burned into lava and dripped down like mercury. Nangongyi, bathed in true fire, walked out of the sky like a demon god. His general armor was shattered and blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth, making him look extremely wretched and ferocious. Good, you are indeed powerful. That punch contained the Tao of a ruler and minister. It looked down on the world and was unparalleled. It made me hallucinate. If your cultivation level was higher, you could have crushed me in one move. That should be your last attack before you die, right? Alright, that's it. Your true energy has been used up. Everything is over. As for your body refinement technique and this tyrannical fist technique, they'll all belong to me. Nangongyi walked towards Xiaofan in the sky. Every step he took caused the air to solidify and left behind a series of footprints. Nangongyi quickly stuffed an ancient holy medicine into his mouth and his aura began to rise. Above his head, flames spread out like a peacock spreading its tail. The grand blazing cauldron was formed. The scorching cauldron was like a scorching sun. It moved slowly, crushing and roasting the air as it moved towards Xiaofan. A pressure as heavy as a mountain came crashing down on him. Monster hero, it is indeed difficult to kill. Xiaofan let out a breath. In the next moment, the 9 revolutions divine art was activated. The true acupoints in his body rotated and the spirit turtle true qi was moved away from the empty acupoints. It was replaced by the vigorous black ice dragon true qi. Boom! Endless frost shot out from Xiaofan's body. There was snow in the world. What? Nangongyi was shocked. He couldn't even speak properly. You actually cultivated 2 types of true qi at the same time. You are not afraid of the collision of different types of true qi and the explosion of your body. Furthermore, I noticed that the true acupoints in your body have undergone a subtle change, causing your already dried up true acupoints to be filled with black ice true qi in an instant. When the old energy was used up, new energy was born, like a withered tree coming back to life. You have too many secrets. You are a living treasure. Heaven-burning cauldron, suppress for me. Suppress with all your might. Boom! The cauldron suddenly became as big as a mountain in an instant. It was majestic and hot. Nangong Ye's heaven-burning true qi is indeed powerful. Right now, my black ice dragon true qi has yet to reach completion and is far from being able to withstand the heaven-burning cauldron. Furthermore, even if I burn all my true qi again and use the Son of Heaven's divine fist, I might not be able to kill Nangong Yi. After all, he is already prepared. Besides, I do not dare to burn the black ice dragon true qi as well. If I do that, I will have no way out. Forget it. I will use that move. In the face of such a huge crisis, Xiaofan displayed his calm side. Everything in the world became silent. In the next moment, whoosh! 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 Xiaofan's left arm flashed with demonic light. Buzz! A demonic sound was heard. A demonic wind swept across. An ancient demonic talisman the size of an acre appeared. It was dark green and shone with demonic light. And it was accompanied by obscure and distant chanting. Heavenly demonic god sealing. In an instant, the heaven-burning cauldron was sealed by the demonic talisman. The demonic talisman had drained the demonic monarch's palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm. The demonic energy contained in all the demonic veins. It could seal the heaven-burning cauldron for 5 breaths' time. The cauldron that could burn everything. Now, it had turned into a pile of scrap metal. My true qi. It's sealed. Nangong Ye's heart was in turmoil. He could only feel that the heaven-burning cauldron that was formed by his true qi had suddenly lost its connection with his soul and true meridians. It was like a clay ox entering the ocean. It's the demonic technique of the demon emperor in the Dead City. Xiaofan, how did you learn it? Who are you? Nangong Ye's rock-solid mental defense was finally broken. Xiaofan had too many trump cards. Every trump card was so strange and couldn't be measured by common sense. The heavenly demonic god sealing can still last for 4 breaths' time. Kill. Xiaofan's body moved like a savage beast and appeared in front of Nangong Yi. Bang! He threw a punch. It landed heavily on Nangong Ye's body. All of Nangong Ye's true qi had been released and sealed. Therefore, his defense was at its weakest. Although his flesh was stronger than anyone below the realm of true qi, it still could not withstand Xiaofan's punches. Puchi. The armor on Nangong Ye's body was instantly shattered. Bang! Xiaofan threw another punch. Nangong Ye's clothes were shredded into dust. Bang! 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 Xiaofan's punches were like a storm. Nangong Yi was forced to retreat step by step. Blood gushed out of Nangong Ye's mouth like a mountain spring. There were also broken teeth and broken eyeballs, all of his bones were shattered. At this moment, puff! The demonic talisman dimmed down. It lost the seal and suppression on the heaven-burning cauldron. The heaven-burning cauldron turned into rays of light and was about to return to Nangong Ye's true meridians. However, die. With a thought, Xiaofan's saber intent slashed out like an evil dragon. Nangong Ye's head was sent flying. Blood spurted several feet into the air. I can't believe that I would die in the hands of someone like you. The head clenched its teeth and uttered a sentence before exploding. Nangong Ye's headless body fell to the ground. The countless strands of true Inferno Qi suddenly lost control. Boom! The true Inferno Qi exploded into the sky and tore the clouds apart. The heavenly wind blew and the earth shook. Finally, Nangong Ye's true Inferno Qi disappeared from the world. At the same time, puff! 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 The true meridians in Nangong Ye's body were all destroyed. Pieces of spiritual stones, books, maps, and pills all fell out. Xiaofan was surprised. Nangong Ye's true meridians have quite a lot of items. Xiaofan fell to the ground. Nangong Ye's subordinates and soldiers all retreated in fear. Nangong Ye's death had destroyed their willpower and turned them into a pile of loose sand. Chapter 115. After killing Nangong Ye, Xiaofan quickly cleaned up the spoils of war. From Nangong Ye's true meridians, piles of true qi spirit stones burst out. There were also some medicine bottles. And a few books. Xiaofan picked up one of the books and looked at it. On the title page, there were big ancient characters. However, Xiaofan did not look at it carefully. He just threw it into his true meridians and stored it. In addition, Xiaofan also found a few feathers of birds and a few maps. Devil Hero Token? Xiaofan picked up a palm-sized black token from the ground. It was covered with ancient seal characters and runes, depicting the fight between the ancient people and the demon race. It exuded an ancient aura, exuding a solemn and mystical aura. Under the three ancient characters, Devil Hero Token, was the name Nangong Yi. This Devil Hero Token seems to contain a very mysterious aura and incredible power, but I can't activate it. Xiaofan murmured to himself. Then, he threw the Devil Hero Token into his true meridians and put it away. Seeing Xiaofan devouring Nangong Ye's belongings, the deputy generals and soldiers did not dare to be angry or speak. They wanted to escape, but they seemed to be intimidated by Xiaofan's power. Their lives were in his hands, and they did not have the strength to move. Xiaofan killing Nangong Yi had already left an almost invincible impression in the hearts of the deputy generals and soldiers. They were anxious, afraid that Xiaofan would jump out and kill them. Suddenly, bang! A Jinshi realm deputy general's knees buckled and he knelt down, his entire body trembling in fear. Mercy, please, please forgive. Princess Mo Hen and young hero Xiaofan, please have mercy and spare my life. With this, a large number of people immediately knelt down. Some of the soldiers even kept kowtowing like pounding garlic. The retainers of the princess also looked at each other in dismay. The princess stretched out her white jade-like hand. She opened the curtain and walked down with light steps. Yun, you are that Xiaofan, right? Princess Mo Hen said softly. Her eyes were filled with curiosity and gratitude, but not much fear. Mr. Yun. Oh, no, young hero Xiaofan. Hu Chenghe also walked towards Xiaofan. Young hero Xiaofan is truly remarkable. In the Beacon Fire Empire, he was wanted by the entire empire. All the fiendish heroes of the imperial family were sent out to hunt down young hero Xiaofan. Young swordsman Xiaofan actually sneaked into Princess Mo Hen's wedding procession and crossed the sea by deceiving everyone to arrive here, completely distancing himself from the Fire Beacon Empire. Furthermore, young swordsman Xiaofan even killed Nangong Yi. This old man truly admires such methods. I believe that young hero Xiaofan will definitely become a great figure in the future. Along the way, Xiaofan and Hu Chenghe were quite familiar with each other. Thus, even though Xiaofan was in the Beacon Fire Empire, he was still a friend of Hu Chenghe. Hu Chenghe firmly believed that Xiaofan was not an unpardonably evil person. In fact, he was many times purer than the sanctimonious demon hero Nangong Yi. Xiaofan stood up and lifted his cloak. That young and slightly immature face was completely exposed under the sunlight. He seemed somewhat harmless, but his eyes were pitch black and intelligent, as unfathomable as an ancient well. Princess Mo Hen, Senior Hu, Xiaofan was forced to conceal his identity. Also, Xiaofan is not an evil person. He would never harm any of you. As for killing Nangong Yi, it was truly a fluke. Xiaofan knew his own situation very well. Killing Nangongyi this time was extremely difficult. He had burnt up the spirit turtle true qi in 14 of his true acupoints and depleted the demon qi in 100 of his demon veins. He had used all his trump cards and killed Nangongyi in the end. If he had hesitated or made a wrong move, he could have been killed by Nangongyi instead. Then, "Senior Hu, where should I go now? I'm afraid I can't go to the east anymore. I also need to avoid the endless pursuit." Xiaofan frowned deeply. "Also, what should we do with Nangongyi and the other soldiers? These soldiers and generals should all be killed and silenced. Furthermore, they attempted to slaughter the servants of the princess. They deserve to die." However, Xiaofan was not willing to kill those who could not defend themselves. This. Hu Chenghe thought for a while and said cautiously, "Why don't we find a secluded place and settle down the princess first? If possible, we can escape to the north or west. The true martial continent is boundless. The Beacon Fire Empire is just the tip of the iceberg. It cannot cover the sky. I believe that we can escape." At this moment, another guard in the true Qi realm looked up and said in surprise, "Why are there two suns in the sky? What is going on?" Xiaohan's heart skipped a beat and he looked up. There were indeed two blazing suns floating in the sky. The two suns were the same size. The sunlight shone on the earth and brought warmth. Suddenly, from one of the suns, a man in a golden robe walked out with his hands behind his back. His face looked like it was carved out of stone. He was naturally able to attract light, causing all the light and heat in the world to gather on his body. He stood out like a crane among chickens. There was an innate pride in his eyes. His temperament was filled with the grace and coldness of a leader. The great Sun Emperor. The strongest among the heroes. He actually tracked and appeared here. At this moment, the great Sun Emperor walked down from the sky step by step. A blazing sun followed closely behind and hung above his head. A deity appeared in the blazing sun. His eyes were closed and he looked solemn. However, as soon as they opened their eyes, they would inevitably unleash a world-destroying might that illuminated the ages and swept through the world. Rays of sunlight were reflected from every pore on the great Sun Emperor's body. These rays of sunlight showed the ancestors worshipping, the harvest of the 5 crops, the palace, the towns and villages, all kinds of things. These rays of sunlight had the taste of the common people. The golden sunlight covered the area where Xiaofan was. The strong pressure directly covered it. It caused everyone to wish for nothing more than to kneel down and prostrate themselves in worship. Their bodies had already been deprived of the right to walk and move. The great Sun Emperor, it's him. Now, Xiaohan's heart was completely cold. The great Sun Emperor's battle power had surpassed the pure rain sects Dongfang Qin and Fang Ling. The feeling of looking up to a high mountain gripped Xiaofan. Xiaofan. The great Sun Emperor walked down leisurely. With his body as the center, a large area could be seen. Indistinctly, Sanskrit chants and hymns could be heard. He was like a deity. His eyes were like stars and were covered in golden light. High above, he spoke indifferently as if he was going to judge someone's life and death. To think that you actually sneaked into the wedding procession of the Fire Beacon Empire's Emperor's daughter. You really have a lot of tricks up your sleeves. Even I was almost fooled by you. If it wasn't for you releasing some demonic energy during your battle with Nangongyi and activating illusory movement, I might have been fooled by you. But, Heaven's Net has long arms. You won't be able to escape. Heaven's Net has long arms? When Xiaofan heard the great Sun Emperor's words, he felt very uncomfortable. Moreover, the great Sun Emperor's attitude of controlling everything made Xiaofan feel disgusted and conflicted. Great Sun Emperor, I, Xiaofan, am not a sinner nor a demon. Why do you say heaven's net has long arms? Xiaofan, you killed Nangong Yi. So you think that you are someone important, right? The great Sun Emperor said sarcastically. Although Nangong Yi was a demon, he was at the bottom of the cannon fodder. He was lucky. In the selection of the demon, he hugged someone powerful and luckily survived. That's why he became a demon. You killed him. That's nothing. Alright, let's talk about the truth. I already know everything. You don't have to quibble anymore. Follow me. I will decide your life and death. You, what right do you have to decide my life and death? I, Xiaofan, am not guilty. Xiaofan's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He clenched his fists so tightly that his nails dug into his palms, causing blood to flow out. If I say you are guilty, then you are guilty. The great Sun Emperor's eyes were like torches as he looked at Xiaofan. I can kill you with a flip of my palm like killing an ant. Therefore, you are guilty. You abandoned yourself and fell into the demon Tao. You deserve to die. The great Sun Emperor said casually. This demon, Xiaofan. Xiaofan is not a demon. He is a human. A human like us. Princess Mo Hen finally mustered up her courage and said under the pressure of the great Sun Emperor. Princess of the Beacon Fire Empire, shut up. You have no right to speak in front of me. Even the Emperor of the Beacon Fire Empire can only listen to my orders obediently. The tone of the great Sun Emperor was as if he was in control of everything and looked down on all living beings. This is really unfair, to decide someone's life and death so casually. Hu Chenghe murmured indignantly. There is no fairness in this world. The so-called fairness comes from the place where one's fist can hit. This Xiaofan has fallen into the demon Tao. There is demon qi on his body and he even used the demon emperor's natal demon technique without permission. He must be executed. The great Sun Emperor frowned slightly. However, I will interrogate you about your secrets to prevent other humans from imitating you in the future, from abandoning themselves and going astray like you. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan was so angry that he laughed. Sanctimonious. After all this talk. Isn't it because you are coveting the secrets on my body? What slaying demons and devils? Those are all excuses. Hypocrite. The great Sun Emperor frowned slightly. Golden light burst out from his eyes and the shadow of the sun, moon and stars appeared. He was obviously angry. At this moment, well said. What a hypocrite. An extremely lazy voice sounded. Great Sun Emperor, you are already a few hundred years old and you are still coveting the secrets of a young man. Really? Can I say some vulgar words? A young man of medium height, wearing clothes cut from animal skin, walked over from afar. He looked to be around 25 or 26 years old. His appearance was ordinary but there was a hint of a cynical smile on the corner of his mouth. It made him radiate a strange charm. He held a wooden bow in his hand and carried a quiver of arrows on his back. Those were white bone arrows chiseled from the bones of animals. Each arrow was engraved with runes and seal characters. They surged with power that caused the mountains and rivers to tremble. His leather boots were stained with ancient leaves that came from the depths of the great wilderness. He seemed to have come from the great wilderness. As he walked, the bone arrows in the quiver gently knocked against each other, making a clear sound like wind chimes. It's you. The great Sun Emperor's expression changed drastically. His voice was slightly trembling, showing his deep fear. You didn't enter the great wilderness. Rumor has it that you have already died in that ancient territory. You idiot. The young man frowned in disdain. How could I die? Oh right, since you all think that I am dead, why don't you dare to pull out the bone arrow that sealed the demon emperor? What a useless piece of trash. What? This young man is holding a wooden bow in his hand and carrying a quiver of bone arrows. He is the supreme expert that sealed the demon emperor. He destroyed the demon emperor crystal with one arrow. Xiaofan's expression was also shocked. Oh. Xiaofan, right? The young man looked at Xiaofan and his attitude was slightly intimate. I heard that junior brother Dongfang and junior brother Fang Ling admire you very much. Even the sect leader thinks highly of you. Not bad. You are indeed a very pleasing young man. Ah. You are? Xiaofan's mind went blank. He blurted out, you are the direct disciple of our Pure Rain sect. Eldest senior brother? Who said I am not? The young man smiled lazily. Then, he looked at the great Sun Emperor. You over there, are you going to scram or do I have to make you scram? Chapter 116. Xiaofan was truly shocked. These true disciples of the Pure Rain sect were all arrogant. From Fang Ling to Dongfang Qin and this eldest senior brother in front of him, they were all arrogant and unruly. Especially this eldest senior brother who directly asked the great Sun Emperor to get lost. How domineering. However, the son of the sun was enraged. His calm and indifferent face instantly turned purple. Above his head, there was a blazing sun, and the eyes of the god sitting solemnly in it moved slightly, as if he wanted to open his eyes. Buzz. 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 The eldest senior brother's quiver and the bone arrows on his back were like living creatures. They slightly trembled and jumped, emitting the monstrous and ferocious aura of ancient divine beasts. The clouds moved in all directions, and the mountains and rivers changed color. In the air, the roar of ferocious beasts resounded and bursts of Zen music penetrated into the souls of people. It was as if the eldest senior brother was not carrying the bone arrows, but a nest of giant ferocious beasts. However, the eldest senior brother's expression didn't change. He didn't show his emotions and was even as lazy and frivolous as before. Great Sun Emperor, do you want to try? Xiao Mingchu, you. Finally, the battle intent and rage of the Emperor of the Great Sun was defeated. Deep fear could be seen in his almost golden pupils. This is the blazing Sun Empire. Retract your arrogance. It's not that your Fire Beacon Empire has a famous evil hero. Seriously speaking, the evil heroes of the blazing Sun Empire are superior to your Fire Beacon Empire in both quantity and quality. Xiao Mingchu. So, eldest senior brother is called Xiao Mingchu. Xiaofan murmured. TSK. Great Sun Emperor, the blazing Sun Empire does have evil heroes that are stronger than me. However, I will kill you today and escape into the great wilderness. Is there a problem? Don't tell me that I, Xiao Mingchu, don't even have the chance to escape. Aren't you looking down on me too much? Ha ha ha. Do you want to try? Xiao Mingchu's eyes revealed his eagerness. Heh. The great son of heaven finally gave in completely. He looked at Xiaofan coldly, his eyes filled with resentment and hatred. It was as if he was venting all the resentment that had accumulated in his chest on Xiaofan. She was thoroughly venting her anger on him. However, he did not dare to make a move. Xiao Mingchu had indeed made him hesitate to take action. Xiao Mingchu, even the sect master of your Pure Rain sect has promised not to interfere in this matter. Yet, you are here to interfere. The great son of heaven spoke coldly. However, even if I don't make a move, I can't. The world was so big, there should be countless evil heroes who would take action. Xiaofan knew the secrets of the demon race, and he would definitely attract many heroes to fight for him. Xiao Mingchu. You protected him this time, but you can't protect him forever. Sooner or later, he will be left alone and easily killed. You don't have to worry about this. Xiao Mingchu stretched his back and said softly. As long as he becomes a hero and makes contributions, he will be protected by the hero tower. No one dared to kill him at will. As far as I know. There are some evil heroes who, in order to increase their combat power, will resort to unscrupulous means and keep demons as their servants. They even extract demon power for their own use. Xiaofan, use one or two of the demon race's secret techniques. It's just a small matter. Ha ha ha. The great son of heaven suddenly laughed wildly, his laughter was filled with disdain and sarcasm. He looked at Xiaofan with deep disdain. Him? He can become a hero? Ridiculous. Utter nonsense. Perhaps he had some innate talent, but it was definitely not outstanding. Xiao Mingchu, you also know that the selection of the demon hero is getting harder and harder, and the death rate is getting higher and higher. This year's selection of the demon hero, there will be the young generation of the mysterious ancient country and the great wilderness. Their bloodline is naturally stronger than ours, and they even have the royal bloodline that looks down on the world. Do you think that this Xiaofan can fight against those naturally powerful races? Surprisingly, Xiao Mingchu did not deny what the great son of heaven said. But Xiaofan must become a hero. Otherwise, he will die in the endless pursuit. Good. Xiao Mingchu, since this is the case, I, the great son of heaven, will not pursue Xiaofan anymore. Why don't we make a bet? The great son of heaven's eyes lit up. Do you dare to bet? Sigh. Great son of heaven, don't provoke me, this is very clumsy and childish. Xiao Mingchu yawned. You want to bet whether Xiaofan can become a hero or not? Let's bet on this. The great son of heaven had a look of confidence. Do you dare to accept? What do you want to bet? Xiao Mingchu scratched his hair. In fact, we don't dare to really kill each other, so it is impossible to bet with our lives. But there are still many things we can bet on. How about this, before this year's selection of the demon hero, we will discuss the bet again. Ha ha ha. This time, you will definitely lose. Therefore, I need to think about what I can win from you. The great son of heaven laughed very happily. Alright, I, Xiao Mingchu, accept the bet. Since this is the case, can you get lost? Xiao Mingchu waved his hand. The great son of heaven took another look at Xiaofan and flicked his nails. Xiaofan, you are really lucky, you can live for another 2 years. 2 years later, die in the cruel selection of the demon hero. As soon as he finished his words, the great son of heaven turned into a ray of sunlight and rushed to the sky, disappearing without a trace in a breath. The dragon's head was nowhere to be seen. Big senior brother. Little brother thanks big senior brother for your help. Xiaofan hurriedly said. Alright, come with me. Xiao Mingchu waved his hand at Xiaofan and brought him around a bald rock mountain. Xiao Mingchu found a patch of grass and sat down. He plucked a piece of hay and put it in his mouth, giving off an uninhibited and relaxed aura. Xiaofan followed suit and sat down. Junior brother Xiaofan, if you don't become a hero now, only death awaits you. The great son of heaven is right, I can't protect you forever, the same goes for sect master. Xiao Mingchu's face showed a rare serious expression. Yes, all along, ever since I went with senior brother Fong Ling to the West region to kill Demon Emperor Qing Lin, I have always been fascinated by the demon hero. I swore in my heart that I would become a demon hero too. Below the immortals are the demon heroes, and below the demon heroes are all living beings. Xiaofan said seriously. Sect master let you go this time, avoiding the endless pursuit, just to train you, so that you can stand out in this year's demon hero trials. Xiao Mingchu scratched his hair. His hair was very messy. But Sect Master seems to have underestimated the difficulty of this year's Demon Hero trials. I came from the great wilderness and received news that some of the hidden big clans. Some of the powerful clans in the great wilderness have produced many talented young people in recent years. These people will participate in this year's Demon Hero trials, making the already cruel trials even more intense. The death rate will climb to a new peak. More terrifying than the previous years. Most of the younger generation in the East, South, West, and North regions will die in this trial. This? Xiaofan frowned. Xiaofan, this world is very big, and there are many experts that you don't know about. There were some strange races that were born with terrifying innate talents. It's very eye-catching. Xiao Mingchu looked at Xiaofan seriously. In countless mysterious regions, there are powerful clans that you don't know about. There are powerful tribes that you don't know about, ancient countries that have supreme experts who can change the color of mountains and rivers, and make heaven and earth tremble. Eldest senior brother, I believe you. I believe you. Xiaofan nodded his head heavily. Then he gritted his teeth and said. However, no matter what, I must become a demon hero. I will step on anyone who stands in my way. I will trample them to death. Whether it is the experts of the ancient countries or the barbarians of the great wilderness, none of them can stop me from becoming a demon hero. Ha ha ha. You have a strong fighting spirit. That's not bad. No wonder even the sect master favors you so much. Seriously, the sect master rarely values a disciple so much. Xiao Mingchu looked at Xiaofan with a thoughtful expression. According to the sect master's original plan, you will go to the East region to train for 2 years. But it may not be able to guarantee that you will advance by leaps and bounds. Eldest senior brother, where should I go to train? The West region? The West region is a barren desert, and there are few human countries. The demon clan is rampant. Should I go to the West region alone? Xiaofan said. When the West region was mentioned, Xiaofan could not help but think of Demon Emperor Qing Lin, who was secretly watching him. The West region, the West region. Xiao Mingchu said slowly. The West region is still a little lacking. You only have 2 years. After a pause, Xiao Mingchu stood up. He spat out the dried grass in his mouth, patted the dried grass on his body, and stretched. Let's go. I'll bring you to a place. After saying that, Xiao Mingchu walked forward with Xiaofan following behind him. Where is eldest senior brother bringing me? To train between life and death. Xiao Mingchu stopped and looked at Xiaofan. The laziness in his eyes faded and was replaced with a cold light, like that of an ancient divine beast. In these 2 years, you might die in training. You have to think carefully. But I have to remind you that your current speed of improvement is far from enough. You can't compare to the younger generation from the mysterious countries. Of course, you can also go to the West region to kill the demon clan. Then I will follow eldest senior brother. I am willing to accept the training between life and death, Xiaofan replied. All right. I'll bring you there, Xiao Mingchu said simply. But, eldest senior brother, how should we settle the princess and the others of the Beacon Fire Empire? If we abandon them here, we don't know if they will attract trouble. They are all very weak and do not have the ability to protect themselves. Moreover, from Nangong Ye's attitude, the Emperor of the Beacon Fire Empire did not seem to care about the life and death of Princess Mo Hen and her retainers. This is worth pondering. Princess Mo Hen once did me a favor. Let them go with me. I can settle them in a safe place, but only for 2 years. After 2 years, if you are still alive, then you can take them away, Xiao Mingchu said. Thank you, eldest senior brother, Xiaofan nodded and expressed his thanks. Back at the camp. When Nangong Ye's generals and soldiers saw that Xiaofan and Xiao Mingchu had temporarily left, they all scattered and ran for their lives. Only Princess Mo Hen and thousands of her retainers were left in the camp. Princess, Senior Hu, this time, you too can follow my Cloud Sect's eldest senior brother. He will settle you in a safe place, Xiaofan went over and said. At this moment, heavens! This is... Hu Chenghe's eyes bulged as he looked at the sky in shock. Princess Mo Hen and her retainers were also frightened out of their wits. Xiaofan followed their gaze and looked over. Tens of thousands of divine lights surged out from Xiao Mingchu's true meridians and turned into a divine bird in the sky. It was about 10 acres in size, brightly colored and had very beautiful feathers. Its head was like a chicken, its jaw like a swallow, its neck like a snake, its chest like a swan, and its tail like a fish. Divine flames burned on the divine bird's feathers. It emitted an ancient aura that made the heaven and earth tremble. Its entire body flowed with 5-colored divine light. This looks like a phoenix. Xiaofan swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Let's go, junior brother Xiaofan. Let them come up, I will take you away. Xiao Mingchu stretched his waist and said. P.S. There will be no updates for today. In the afternoon, I noticed that I had a cold, so I need to spend some time to sort out the plot. According to the monthly votes, I still owe a few chapters. But don't worry, it's written in black and white, I will not go back on my word. I said with integrity. Chapter 117. Xiaofan didn't expect his first senior brother's true qi to take the form of a divine bird similar to a phoenix. A colossal creature. Moreover, it was extremely agile. The bird's eyes had a monstrous ominous glint. Its cries could pierce through gold and crack stones. When its wings flapped, thunderstorms were generated. It was like a living creature. It must be a supreme expert at the high level of the true qi realm to be able to use true qi to take the form of such a lifelike first senior brother's cultivation is truly unfathomable. Xiaofan raised his eyebrows. However, with a flash of the saber intent, Xiaofan's eyes shone like the stars. There will be a day when my cultivation is comparable to first senior brothers. I will even surpass first senior brothers. I, Xiaofan, have cultivated from a living target to where I am today. I've killed demon emperors, elite demons of the human race. Nothing is impossible. Let's go. I'll bring you guys to a place. Xiao Mingchu said lazily. That place is a hidden paradise where you can avoid being hunted down. Under Xiao Mingchu's arrangement, Xiaofan, Princess Mo Hen, Hu Chenghe, and many family servants abandoned their mounts and carriages. They carefully climbed onto the back of the true qi divine bird with hearts full of admiration and admiration. Among the princess's many dowries, only the carriages filled with top-grade true qi spirit stones were left behind by Xiaofan and moved onto the bird's back. The divine bird let out a cry and turned into a ray of light. It flew high up into the sky and disappeared into the clouds. Xiao Mingchu lazily sat on the bird's head. His body emitted a treasure light that enveloped everyone on the bird's back, preventing them from falling to their deaths from the wind. The divine bird soared tens of thousands of meters into the sky. With an unimaginable speed, it drew an untraceable arc across the sky. First senior brother. Xiaofan walked over and sat beside Xiao Mingchu. What is the life and death training that first senior brother mentioned? Are you going to bring me to hunt the demon race and savage beasts? Xiao Mingchu didn't answer the question. Junior brother Xiaofan, your physical body is quite good. With more than 1,000 cauldrons of strength, you should be cultivating a body refining technique, right? Xiaofan was stunned and immediately nodded. I had a little fortuitous encounter and obtained a body refining technique that can refine the bones and organs of the body. However, it was difficult for him to contend against a Jinqi realm expert. Cultivating true qi is the orthodox way. Not necessarily. Xiao Mingchu's gaze suddenly became very vigilant. His eyeballs turned and looked left and right. Then, he put his arm around Xiaohan's shoulders. He spoke in a mosquito-like voice. Junior brother Xiaohan, you only have 2 years. 2 years later, you will participate in the Devil Hero trial. If you can't become a Devil Hero, you will have to face the Devil Hero. Not only will you die, I will also be humiliated by the great Son of Heaven, and I will even lose an item to him. Thus, in these 2 years, I will urge junior brother Xiaohan to work hard in your cultivation. Also, I can tell you a secret. Huh? Secret? Xiaohan saw Xiao Mingchu's cautious look. It was as if he was afraid that others would hear him. He found it funny and a little nervous. Eldest senior brother. What secret? Xiao Mingchu said in an extremely low voice. This secret was discovered and concluded by me. Even junior brother Dongfang, junior brother Fang Ling, and even the sect master. I've never revealed anything. Now that it's a matter of great importance, I'll tell you. The stronger the body, the more powerful it is. The easier it is to break through the acupoints. Xiao Mingchu whispered to Xiaohan. Body. Xiaohan instinctively blurted out. Shu. Xiao Mingchu nervously made a shushing gesture. Junior brother Xiaohan, the technique cannot be passed to 6 ears. Shush, shush. Xiaohan looked left and right and laughed involuntarily. Eldest senior brother, no one will hear what we say. Princess Mo Hen and her servants are far away. How can they hear us? Senior brother is being too meticulous. Xiaohan felt that although his eldest senior brother was unfathomable, he would occasionally show a childlike temperament, simple and simple. In short, junior brother Xiaohan, this secret is not a small matter. Xiao Mingchu was still very cautious. The stronger the body, the easier it is to break through the acupoints. Why is it that the younger generation of the ancient countries and the powerful clans of the great wilderness have an easier time cultivating compared to the martial artists of the 4 regions? On one hand, it's because they are naturally strong, vigorous, and abnormal. On the other hand, their bodies are too terrifying. Some of the most powerful experts of the ancient clans can tear apart fierce beasts with their bare hands when they were young. They are talented. After having a strong body, they can cultivate their true qi and break through the acupoints with irresistible force. Xiao Mingchu laughed dryly. Of course, this secret might not be only known by me. Eldest senior brother, it seems like this. When I was in the physical body realm, I trained my body to the fullest. My bones were sparkling and translucent, and my internal organs were like diamond and iron. After I broke through the first acupoint, I actually burst my acupoints one after another, and only stopped after I broke through the 9th acupoint, Xiaohan added. Yes. Xiao Mingchu slapped his thigh. Junior brother Xiaohan, I can see that you have cultivated a body-tempering cultivation technique, so your body is different from ordinary people. Therefore, in these 2 years, I will mainly help you continue tempering your body, making it comparable to a desolate beast, immortal and indestructible. With a strong body, breaking through acupoints will be easier. So the physical body realm and the true qi realm actually have such a complementary relationship. Xiaohan came to a sudden realization. He thought to himself, I've learned something new this time. In the past, senior brother Ling had never talked to him about these things. He might not know as much as eldest senior brother. Eldest senior brother, in 2 years, can my body be comparable to an ancient beast? Do I need to find treasures to nourish my body? No, I will bring you to an ancient village of the great wilderness. You don't need to ask too many questions for now. In short, you will understand once you get there. Xiao Mingchu said mysteriously. Ancient village of the great wilderness. Xiaohan licked his lips. Eldest senior brother, what does the great wilderness look like? The great wilderness is boundless. It is many times larger than the north, south, east, west, and the hero region of the central region. There are countless secrets and ancient countries in the great wilderness. There are also extremely powerful tribes and even primordial species. Xiao Mingchu said frankly with assurance. With my cultivation, I can only roam around the periphery of the great wilderness. I don't dare to go too deep. Otherwise, I will be killed by mysterious and powerful beings. Oh right, there are also demons in the great wilderness. Legend has it that in the depths of the great wilderness, there is a demon emperor that hibernates in a cave. Perhaps, the extremely powerful demons of the human race will go to the depths of the great wilderness to train, but I do not dare to lose my life in vain. Xiaofan was dumbfounded. Eldest senior brother, you're already very strong. Heh. Junior brother Xiaofan, your horizons are still too small. You don't even know what a true expert looks like. You haven't had the chance to see it yet. Alright, let's talk about the matter at hand. This time, I'll bring you to an ancient village in the wasteland and let you live there for a period of time. Once you've adapted to the life there, I'll bring you to go through life and death training. After a pause, Xiao Mingchu added. This world is huge, but generally speaking, the true super experts are all extremely powerful. There are two places where it can be born. One is the deepest part of the great wilderness, the other is the central region, the Devil Hero region. Devil Hero region? Xiaofan did not understand. His knowledge was too shallow. Yes, the north, south, east, and west regions are nothing. The central region was truly a place of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. The experts were as numerous as trees in a forest. The central region was known as the Devil Hero Domain, and it was the base camp of the Devil Heroes. All the Devil Heroes of the Zhenwu continent would appear and walk in the Devil Hero Domain. Among them were the legendary heroes. However, ordinary Devil Heroes would rarely have the chance to see them, Xiao Mingchu said solemnly. The Devil Hero Tower is the authority organization that controls billions of Devil Heroes, and it sets the rules of the Devil Hero world. Someone once said that the master of the Devil Hero Tower was an immortal, but this is only a legend. It has never been proven. Xiaofan, you're not a Devil Hero now, so you don't have the right to enter the central region, the Devil Hero region. Alright, Xiaofan. I've told you so much now, but you can't accept it. Work hard on your cultivation. Maybe one day, you'll become a famous person in this world. Xiao Mingchu encouraged him. Yes, Xiaofan said with a determined look. Don't worry, eldest senior brother. You won't lose to the great Sun Emperor. I'll do my best to become a Devil Hero. Alright. Then work hard on your cultivation. There's still a long way to go before we reach the great wilderness ancient village. I'll take a nap first. Xiao Mingchu yawned, leaned back, and laid down. Soon, he started snoring. You can sleep like this? Xiaofan was speechless. Then, Xiaofan walked away and found a place on the broad back of the bird. He sat down cross-legged and started to cultivate silently. For a moment, Xiaofan's entire body was shining with golden light and bone texts were flickering. The supreme grade True Qi Spirit Stone was constantly being refined in Xiaofan's dried-up True Acupoint. The 100 demon veins on the Demon Emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm, which had been drained of demon power, were throbbing slowly. Traces of glass-like demon light flickered, slowly producing demon power. At the same time, Xiaofan was recalling and digesting the experience of the battle with Nangong Yi. Just like that, 10 days and 10 nights passed. Xiao Mingchu actually slept for 10 days and 10 nights. On this day, Xiaofan, look at the sky in front, those rays of light are so beautiful. Princess Mo Hen came to Xiaofan's side, stretched out her slender jade-like finger and pointed at the blue dome of the sky. That place was enshrouded with 7-colored rays of light. It was as bright as the stars, misty and extremely graceful. It was a spectacle. However, when the divine bird flew closer to the sky full of rays of light, Xiaofan suddenly felt a terrifying repulsive force. It seemed that the rays of light wanted to repel Xiaofan by 1,000 miles. Soon, not only Xiaofan, but also Wuxia and the other true Qi realm martial artists, even Princess Mo Hen and the ordinary people who were not familiar with martial arts, deeply felt this inexplicable and powerful repulsive force. Young hero Xiaofan, it seems that we can't enter the world behind the rays of light, that seems to be a door. It repel people by 1,000 miles, Wuxia stammered. Ah. Finally, Xiao Mingqiu stretched and finally woke up. In front of us is the great wilderness. Ordinary people don't have the authority to enter the great wilderness and will be blocked by the barrier. You must have the devil hero token. This is the key to open the door. Xiao Mingqiu turned his right hand and a palm-sized devil hero token appeared in his hand, flashing with a mysterious energy. Misty light refracted. Eldest senior brother, I also have a devil hero token. Xiaofan took out Nangong Ye's devil hero token from his true acupoint. However, Nangong Ye's devil hero token was like a dead object in Xiaofan's hand. It was dim and did not move at all. Oh. Junior brother Xiaofan, after the devil hero died, his devil hero token became useless. It's just a piece of scrap metal. This devil hero token is bound to the devil hero's soul. Alright, throw away that broken thing in your hand. Xiao Mingqiu shrugged. Is that so? Xiaofan threw away Nangong Ye's devil hero token helplessly. Alright, I will bring you into the great wilderness world. Xiao Mingqiu also threw out his devil hero token. Suddenly, a strange light appeared and a door was broken open in the light screen. The divine bird carried Xiaofan and the others in a flash. I entered the great wilderness world? Xiaofan was shocked. The next moment, when he opened his eyes, he was shocked by the scene in front of him. Chapter 118. This was an extremely vast and endless world. Boundless and boundless. It exuded an ancient and primitive aura. There was also a hair-raising sense of danger. There were huge mountains that were tens of thousands of feet high. There were endless mountain ranges. There were lakes filled with spiritual qi. In the primeval forest, ancient trees towered into the sky. There were some ancient trees that were thousands of meters tall. Their luxuriant branches and leaves covered thousands of acres of land. This could be an ancient tree that had grown for hundreds of millions of years. It was two vicissitudes. In the sky, there was a bird with bright feathers gliding. It was unknown what species it was, but it was full of vitality and had an ancient aura. The bird's eyes were filled with lightning and flames. Beside the lake, there was a huge beast drinking water. Dong! 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 A 20-meter-long fierce tiger came out from behind a 10,000-meter-high stone mountain. It stepped on the ground and caused an earthquake. It looked up at Xiaofan and the others and roared. The tiger's eyes shot out beams of light that could penetrate gold and crack stones. However, the divine bird formed by Xiao Mingqiu's true qi let out a slight bird cry and the huge tiger trotted away, as if it was very unwilling. On the back of the divine bird, Princess Mo Hen, Wuxia and the others were all frightened and trembled. Xiaofan's mouth was dry. Eldest senior brother, is this the great wilderness? It's really, so desolate. There are so many magical and terrifying creatures. Thinking that he had to temper himself in this great wilderness for 2 years, Xiaofan was nervous and excited. But at the same time, Xiaofan thought that the geniuses of the younger generation of the ancient tribes and mysterious countries that grew up in this kind of environment should be very terrifying. Perhaps they were not comparable to the disciples of the sects in the north, south, east and west regions. Junior brother Xiaofan, don't be nervous. This is just the outer area of the great wilderness. There are not too many fatal dangers here. Xiao Mingchu's eyes revealed a very relaxed expression. It was as if he had returned to his warm hometown. Xiao Han was surprised. Eldest senior brother, you seem to have lived in this great wilderness for a long time? Yes. Xiao Mingchu nodded. Many years ago, I left the sect and sneaked into the great wilderness to gain experience. I am not like junior brother Dongfang and junior brother Fang Ling who stayed in the north, south, east and west regions to cultivate. I like the excitement of the great wilderness. The divine bird began to descend. That is? Suddenly, Xiaohan discovered that in a wasteland not far away, there was a huge figure. It was the skeleton of a giant beast. The skeleton was extremely malevolent. It was 100 zhang in length and sparkling white like jade. It exuded an overflowing malevolence, and the air around it began to ripple and distort. The dense savage aura made one's scalp go numb. Oh! This skeleton was not bad. It can be used to chisel bone arrows. Xiao Mingchu's right hand shot out like lightning, and a huge palm of true energy grabbed the skeleton. In the next moment, the 300 feet long skeleton disappeared without a trace. No one knew how Xiao Mingchu had managed to keep this huge skeleton. It was unbelievable. Seeing Xiao Mingchu's means, Princess Mo Hen, Hu Chenghe, and the others were nearly scared silly. Very soon, the divine bird flew lower and lower. After flying close to the ground for tens of miles, the divine bird transformed into tens of thousands of beams of splendid light, merging into all of Xiao Mingchu's true meridians. Everyone followed Xiao Mingchu's lead. He began to walk. Xiao Han did not know Xiao Mingchu's cultivation level. He tried to observe Xiao Mingchu's vitality to see how many true meridians he had opened, but he could not tell. Xiao Mingchu's body was bright and deep like the sea. Unfathomable. Xiao Mingchu walked in front. The old horse led the way. The group passed through a primitive jungle that was overgrown with hazel bushes. Beside a natural lake in the forest, Xiao Han and the others saw a group of colorful sika deer. Each of them was a few zhang long, and it was a marvelous sight. However, the giant sika deer did not take the initiative to attack. Both sides were peaceful. Out of the forest. Suddenly, Xiao Mingchu's ears trembled a few times. He stopped and signaled Xiao Han and the others to be quiet. In the next moment, Xiao Mingchu took out a wooden bow and took out a bone arrow from the quiver on his back. He drew the bow and knocked the arrow into the shape of a full moon, aiming at the sky. However, apart from the pure white cotton clouds and the blazing sun, there was nothing else in the sky. Everyone felt puzzled. However, at this moment, Gua, a bird cry came from the east side of the sky. Very quickly, a 20-meter-long luan flew over with lightning speed. The feathers on its body were fiery red, burning with flames. Its aura was so strong that it caused the earth to tremble. At this moment, Xiao Mingchu moved. A bone arrow shot towards the luan flying high in the sky. After the bone arrow left the bow, it instantly transformed into a flood dragon that bared its fangs and brandished its claws. Endless divine light wrapped around it. It roared and roared, its killing intent shocking the sky. The sky suddenly darkened. Wind, rain, thunder and lightning lingered around the fierce flood dragon formed by the bone arrow. It was as if there was only this arrow left in the world. The light pierced through the sky. Numerous runes appeared, like dazzling and blazing fireworks. Gua! The luan let out a tragic cry. It had a premonition of its impending death. It wanted to fly higher. However, pooh! The fierce flood dragon directly pierced through it. A huge rune enveloped the Luan. It completely sealed its life force. Xiao Mingchu actually killed a fierce Luan with an ancient aura with one arrow. Boom! Without waiting for the fierce Luan's corpse to fall, Xiao Mingchu's right hand grabbed the huge Luan's corpse with his true chi palm. The bone arrow that killed the fierce Luan was like a living creature. It circled in the sky and flew down. It was inserted into the quiver on Xiao Mingchu's back obediently. This Luan is quite fat. It is enough for the villagers of the ancient village to eat for more than 10 days. The bird's bones can be chiseled into bone arrows. Xiao Mingchu said casually. It was as if he'd only killed a wild boar or wild dog earlier, and not a ferocious and vigorous vicious Luan. Eldest martial brother, you are really a terrifying hunter. Xiaofan sighed in admiration. Junior martial brother, please don't laugh at me. Xiao Mingchu shrugged his shoulders indifferently. The creatures in the outskirts of the Great Desolate are not scary. That Luan's bloodline is not pure. Seriously speaking, its combat power is far inferior to a demon emperor. Junior martial brother Xiaofan. After this trial, if you can kill all kinds of fierce beasts and birds in the outskirts of the Great Desolate, the possibility of you becoming a demon hero in 2 years will greatly increase. Xiao Mingchu smiled and said. Yes. Xiaofan nodded. Xiaofan knew that with his current combat power, even if he used all his strength and used the illusory movement and sky demon god investiture, he might not be able to kill the fierce Luan. Moreover, he might be torn apart by the fierce Luan. If he could kill the fierce beasts in the outskirts of the Great Desolate, it would prove that Xiaohan's combat power had greatly increased. Eldest martial brother, how should I cultivate when I reach the ancient village? Xiaofan asked Xiao Mingchu with great interest. No need to cultivate. Xiao Mingchu raised his head and smiled. Junior martial brother Xiaofan. As long as you can adapt to the life in the ancient village, you will have completed the trial. Adapt to the life in the ancient village? Xiaofan was doubtful. Yes, I will arrange for you to live in the ancient village for 1.5 years. I hope you can adapt to the life in the ancient village as soon as possible. Xiao Mingchu smiled mysteriously. The ancient village is very well hidden. Even the monsters who train in the Great Desolate, or even the natives of the Great Desolate, might not know about it. I accidentally discovered it a few decades ago. The ancient village is isolated from the rest of the world, and the villagers are very simple and kind. Junior martial brother Xiaofan. If you can live in the ancient village for 1.5 years and integrate into the lives of the villagers, then after you walk out of the ancient village, you will be able to easily kill that fierce Luan. Moreover, your true meridian points will be continuously opened. You will be able to improve even further. Oh right, eldest martial brother, you said before. You will help me refine my body. Then, are you going to the ancient village to refine your body? Xiaofan asked repeatedly. You will know when you get there. Xiao Mingchu refused to reveal the truth. In the next 3 days, Xiao Mingchu brought Xiaofan and the others to walk through desolate places. They even went around a long and narrow valley. The further they walked, the more desolate it became. Eventually, there were no birds or wild beasts to be seen. It was as if they were walking to a place where humans and beasts were extinct. On the morning of the 4th day, everyone came to the side of a huge lake. The lake water was very strange. It was ink-black and viscous. It emitted a fishy smell that made people want to vomit. Ah! Xiaofan, this lake water is so smelly. Princess Mo Hen pinched her nose and mumbled to Xiaofan. It is quite smelly. Xiaofan frowned. Each of you drink a liter of lake water. Suddenly, Xiao Mingchu stopped and pointed at the dirty and smelly lake water. You must drink a liter. Ah! Everyone looked at each other. This lake water was unbearably smelly. Just smelling it made people want to vomit, not to mention drinking it. Moreover, they had to drink a liter of it. Eldest martial brother, this can't be, right? Xiaofan was bewildered. He looked at Xiao Mingchu, trying to discern if Xiao Mingchu was playing a prank. However, Xiao Mingchu's expression was very serious. Since he knew Xiao Mingchu, this was the first time Xiaofan saw him so serious. Drink quickly, Xiao Mingchu urged. Next, we will enter a mysterious ancient village. That place is very strange. If outsiders do not drink a liter of the lake water, they will die after entering the village. Drink, Xiaofan observed for a while. After confirming that Xiao Mingchu was not joking, he said to Princess Mo Hen, Hu Chenghe, and the others. After speaking, Xiaofan also squatted down and wanted to drink the lake water. Junior martial brother Xiaofan, you don't need to drink, Xiao Mingchu immediately said. N. Xiaofan raised his head and looked at Xiao Mingchu. Eldest martial brother, didn't you say that outsiders will die after entering the ancient village without drinking a liter of the lake water? Junior martial brother Xiaofan, you will not die. Your corporeal body is much stronger than theirs. Moreover, for the sake of the trial, you must not drink this lake water. Xiao Mingchu smiled mysteriously. Let them drink it. Princess Mo Hen obviously believed in Xiaofan now. Thus, she did not say much. She took a water pouch from the maid behind her, squatted down, and filled the pouch with stinky lake water. Then, she pinched her nose and began to drink. Seeing that the princess had started to drink, the others did not hesitate and drank to their heart's content. However, this lake water was obviously very unpleasant to drink. The more they drank, the uglier their faces became. Some even vomited. Remember, you must drink a liter of the lake water. Otherwise, you will die in the ancient village. Xiao Mingchu cautiously reminded. 17. What does the lake water taste like? Xiaofan curiously asked Princess Mo Hen. Very bitter, very bitter. It's like drinking medicine. Princess Mo Hen stuck out her tongue and continued to drink. A few corporeal body warriors and young servant girls drank a few mouthfuls. When they really could not drink anymore, they pretended to drink and began to whisper. It's too bad. I don't want to drink a liter. It will kill me. What ancient village is that? It can't be that we will die the moment we enter, right? This evil hero must be scaring us. Young hero Xiaofan did not drink this stinky water. Moreover, we drank a few mouthfuls. We should be fine. 2 hours later. Alright, everyone drank enough, right? Then let's go. The ancient village is just in front. Xiao Mingchu led the crowd around the stinky lake and continued forward. The road ahead was getting more and more desolate. Moreover, there were no longer any plants growing. Everywhere was filled with a kind of pitch-black stone that was like iron. Other than this stone, there were no other substances. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.